Hello? Hello? Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Are we a go? Oh, I just realized I don't have... Oh no. I didn't bring myself a drink.
Gray, can you draw Bobby Zilch from Psychonauts with a bite taken out of his hair?
Bobby Zilch from Psychonauts with a bite taken out of his hair. I don't know who Bobby Zilch from
Thanks,
Psychonauts
Doc.
is. But I mean, I can always check. Bobby Zilch.
Thanks, Doc.
Psychonauts. Thanks, Doc. That... Are you... Did you find representation of me in some random game where it's just some guy with big
Simon.
orange hair? Simon detected. I'll be honest, I kind of enjoy drawing Simon. He's kind of nice.
It's an epic game, thank you.
It's an epic game.
That is you, though.
Yeah. Okay, we give him his typical hair-ish stuff, right? I've not heard of this Psychonauts game. I'm
What's
a
the
little
deal with the Gray
unfamiliar.
Sona being a ginger guy with a bite taken out of his hair? Kick.
Listen, all you need to know, right, is I feel like it's the most accurate representation
What's
of
the origin of
suffering-
that?
of suffering in life. You know, if you think about it, aren't we all just a ginger guy with like a little bit extra hair, who had like a bite taken out of it by someone else? Aren't we all like that? Or we got that quirkiness of having something like ginger hair that makes us ever so slightly, but not too extensively different than everyone else, and yet someone has taken a bite out of that. You ever think about that? You ever think about that? That's the depth. I just realized his neck is supposed to be thinner. Supposed to be like really thin.
Strua!
There we go. I mean, like, think about it, right?
Oh,
Ooh. All you need to know is that, like, people with hair like this, they suffer, you know, in ways you would never imagine.
oh god.
This guy has...
Drawing a guy.
There we go. Let's see. Oh, shoot. You know what I just realized? I forgot to start recording, too. Recording has started. So sorry, recording is like ever so slightly off. Recording missed like the first 4 minutes of the stream. That's okay. Nothing too important there. You know, just to start. I'm recording the stream just so we have like an arc, you know? Because for some reason streams don't do all the things that they should. Hey!
I got another
There's your buddy
cylindrical
boy.
shaped guy. You gotta draw on the same canvas. Let me just send you a ref archive.
I'd be happy to do so.
Recording missed. Thanks, Doc.
Recording this, thanks, Doc. So true. Let's see. So he's got like this mouth thing. Then he's got like
What is that? It looks
individual
weird.
teeth. I agree, it does look weird. This is apparently
Gray,
a character.
what's your favorite flower?
What's my favorite
Looks like
flower?
me.
Looks like you. My favorite flower, I feel like... Hold on. There's that one flower that Gear keeps making me draw. There's that one...
Give Norm's cylindrical character, gray-style hair as well.
Cynthia or something? Hyacinth flower. I keep being made to draw some kind of flower that's like purple. This is
Hyacinth!
Not Hyacinth? Hyacinth? Hey, I was right, it's Hyacinth. No. I don't know that I'd say it's my favorite per se, but you know, it's something.
Anyways,
that
I will be back. It's like 20
more
minutes.
than- Oh, I see, I see. Can you bring me a few mins whenever you come back?
Funi, if he drew it in the same file as that guy.
Hyacinth.
Hold on, let me just get this guy's hair right here, right? He needs to have depth to his hair. It's not enough just that his hair is like there. It needs to be like depth. Like, you need to see that it's got dimension to it.
Bring you what?
Bring me a few mins back with you, would you?
Give the other character your hair.
Give the other, like this guy? Give Simon my hair? I don't know if Simon could handle all the attention
Also, yeah,
he'd get
seconding,
from all the
he
women.
should have gray-esky hair. It would be quite Jeej.
Look at this guy right here. You may not like
No
it,
Norm's character.
but
Sent ref on Discord. That's a lot of hair.
my mic just cut out. You may not like it, but this is what perfection looks like. Such is life. Such is life. Okay, so I've been sent another image to draw. I've been sent yet another image. That is indeed a lot of hair. Welcome, Fuko. Welcome. Let me scroll up. I see. You want me to draw
Breaking
him?
news. Gray forgot to make a thumbnail for the art stream.
This is indeed correct. Welcome, Foxback Trot. So glad to have you. Jeez. I also forgot to put my pizza in the oven until like a minute before art stream, and that's why I was
Hello.
like slightly like a minute late. Cryptic Science, so glad to have you. Welcome, welcome. I was supposed to. I think it'd be funny if you drew it in the same file, not the same style, just same file. Okay, we can do that.
Draw him with gray-esque hair true.
Who is him? Who are
How's
we
your
talking
pizza?
about? I don't know. It's not out yet. I would like to have the pizza. I think it'd be nice, you know? I personally am a big fan of Supreme pizzas. They are pretty nice, pretty good. Meat lovers are, of course, a top-tier pizza. I feel like there are a few pizzas, however, that do not
The
deserve
character you're
mentioning.
drawing next needs gray-esque hair.
The character I'm drawing...
Some dude from a short film, Lowell.
Meat Lovers is my favorite.
Meat lovers is your foffer? So true. I'll leave this character on the same page. I won't put him on the same layer, though. Just because I don't want to accidentally have them overlap. I hope you don't feel that this is rigged in some way against you. It's been ruined by that.
We was telling you draw him with the gray hair with a bite taken out of it.
Okay,
Oh,
okay,
wow.
I see. You want you want the gray hair. You've been telling me, oh, it's important that he has the gray hair. All right, fine. You know what that means? This guy, right? We're gonna change him. He was gonna have everything normal before. All right, and now he's gonna be upset with you. Now he's gonna be like as mad as a guy like this can be. Because you know what you just did? You just took away all his hair.
Goated.
All of his hair. Right here and then there.
Gray, what's your SSN?
My SSN, it's the same as your credit card number, if you can remember that. Could you remind me what that is? I'm kind of forgetting myself.
Hi, artist. Class is over.
Woohoo! Congratulations.
Too many numbers.
There we go. There are, in fact, too many numbers. You are completely correct. We are not fond of this numbers you speak of. I have just made this character. Are we sure this character is a guy? This character looks like they have like a slightly
Great check of your
chest.
DMs.
I will check my DMs ever so shortly. This character looks like they have like a very slightly protruding chest. And so I'm kind of curious about this character. But I don't know, maybe this is like a Total Drama Island-esque thing where characters will have like hugely protruding chests and it's just like, oh, it's just because they're strong. Like, oh, okay. Everyone, we have fan art for today. Fan art, I repeat, fan art.
Isa blå oi be?
You see this right here? This is me, Gray, the clown, looking surprised as I look upon this thing. Perfection.
Nice.
As I look upon perfection, I cannot help but wonder.
What's up with
But
his hair?
scream. What's up with the hair? Come on, you gotta understand. You gotta understand it. Right? The hair is just a normal thing that people have. Also, I just realized Elsie is still stuck in Skyrim mode. But thank you very much, Bob, for the fan art. That's very good. I'm very fond of it. I'll go back to this thing. Elsie, let's go back to.
Grimace. Ozavit.
I was gonna have Grelsie, but you know, whatever. I'll.
Gray, why are you so angry?
Why am I so angry? I tried to stop being angry. It didn't work. It didn't work. I told them I don't need counseling. I just need a little bit of extra time to myself. And they said,
Gray is
Gray.
better.
Oh my goodness, Gray. What are you doing? What about the family of four, Gray? What did you do
Hi,
to
Gray.
them?
Smooches. Mwah, 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 mwah.
Aw, Peter, so
Switch up.
glad. Thank you very much for coming here. Look, everyone, it's Peter. It's Peter. Hey, Peter. Let me see if I can finish this guy. The reference that I have. Oh, my pizza's done. Hold on. Pizza. Everyone, the pizza is coming. We are getting the pizza. You're going to hear me pull a pizza out of an oven. Why do they call it oven if you love out the oven? You ever think about that? You ever think about oven out the oven?
Spinach pizza. Everybody donate.
I will be back. Can't do a blood-curdling scream. But you can pretend.
Oh, Gray is dying.
Yeah. Unusual pizza compared to normal. Cheese looks weird. Cheese looks weird.
Typical Gray shenanigans.
Weird cheese. Weird cheese. I don't know what to make of it. Weird cheese.
Next track.
They tell me it's the cheese isn't weird. You're weird.
Ew, the
I tell them,
pizza
no,
here.
Cheese, weird. It's crazy. It's crazy what they're doing. Okay, I'm back. I have no idea what any of you said. I was only there for pizza, normally. Anywho.
Så da pizza, mamma mia, Gray, cook the pizza.
He said a pizza, mamma mia. Mia de Grey, cook the pizza. Okay. This person, I forgot to give a collar to her shirt. Or to his shirt. I don't... This person feels like they're girl-coded. Because the boob and necklace stuff. But, you know. I'll take your word for it that this person is just a weirdly feminine guy. There you go. So we have one more.
Greg's making a pizza. Red heart, heartwarming. Red heart.
Red heart,
Pizza,
heartwarming.
pizza,
Pizza.
Nom, 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 nom.
Actually, let me take a bite of the pizza. How is it? Severely undercooked. It is severely undercooked. That's why the cheese is weird. Hold on a minute. Oh! That's why I cooked the wrong pizza. I cooked it for 14
Oh,
minutes.
wow.
It's supposed to
The other
cook
day,
for-
I had overcooked pizza.
It's supposed to
It's
cook
Peem.
for 20.
Ah,
not
ha ha ha.
for 22.
I need a
cooked it
great
like
cooking
8
cam.
minutes short. And then I asked, why does it look so weird?
I...
My bad. Alright, well, I hope I... Do you know if you can get, like, food poisoning from eating a pizza, like, when it's undercooked? I assume not, because people will eat frozen pizza, but, like, that's been cooked already. Right? So you wouldn't have that issue. You wouldn't have an
Just
issue with...
eat it undercooked.
Probably just an upset stomach from undercooked dough.
undercooked
Yeah, it's like
dough.
when you eat cookie dough.
It's like when you eat cookie dough. Okay, but cookie dough I've never had an issue with. It's just delicious. Pizza Gray. We have more fan art, everyone. Look at this. Pizza Gray. Pizza Gray. It's Pizza Gray. That's right. That's right. They tell me it's Pizza Gray. They tell me he's hit another tower. He's hit the Pentagon. Very cool. Very cool. Thank you, Bob. I should get myself the sunglass shades at some point. I feel like it's the
Is there
natural
a Guanland
progression.
watch party of Greystream?
Check your Discord.
Check my Discord. I do see the image you sent me.
Eating the pizza from the pizza
Chibi rabbit. Oh, I see. Let me try and draw it without that being communicated for as long as possible.
Leper is playing Oblivion Remake.
Leper should join us. Leper should enjoy. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of interested in the Oblivion remake. Has anyone here played it?
Draw with your left hand.
Draw with my left hand. If you want to see me draw even worse than I already do, we can. But, you know, be aware of what you're getting
You don't
into.
need to draw the entire thing. I struggle big time with Mecha too. Leper should join stream.
I don't need to draw the entire thing.
It looks like an HD mod of Oblivion. Also, they added beards.
I don't need to draw the entire... Oh, actually, I guess I can just draw, like, part of it. Hold on, let me... Looks like they added what of Oblivion? Hold on, let me...
Like full body.
An HD mod of Oblivion, and also they added beards. I mean, that does sound like something they would do. They gotta keep it simple, they gotta keep it simple, stupid. They gotta follow the kiss rule. Give you a big old kiss. Todd Howard comes to you at night and he says, "All right, here's a big old kiss." He kisses you on the cheek, wishes you good night, and says, "Here's another game of Skyrim. Go on, play it again." You say, "But Todd, I've already played it 5 times." And he says, "Here's Oblivion then. Enjoy." And you do it. You do it because you know he's right. You know he's right. He knows what you want better than you know it. You think, "I want a new game. I want something new to play." Wrong. Absolutely
Another $40
wrong.
trillion to Todd Ward.
Another $40 trillion to Todd Ward. Exactly. It just works. It just works.
Could you draw Jin Kun snipping Ruby's vocal cords while Mia screams in the background?
I have not played Skyrim in a while.
I don't know how to respond to that. You haven't played Skyrim in a while? Maybe you should buy it again then, just to be safe, you know, just so you don't have to use the old save file. You can use a new save file on a new game, a new copy. But yeah, I personally haven't really played much Skyrim in ages. I used to be really fond of it. I'm probably one of the few people who really enjoyed Skyrim but never really played with any mods. I just kind of really liked playing the same quests over and over again and going around killing people and then reloading and whatnot whenever it went poorly. It's kind of like GTA 5 in that way, where it's kind of an excuse to be a murder hobo more than it is a game with a story. Right? Like
Cheats and mods make the game playable.
make the game playable. Are you arguing that Skyrim, the hit game, isn't actually fun, and it's just a matter of the fact that you can mod it so much? Is that the only feature that makes it worth playing? Personally, I think you made a mistake.
Not after the 10th hour.
Not after the 10th hour? I see. Hold on.
Thinking about the guy who named his kid Dovahkiin, just to get a lifetime supply of every Bethesda game released ever, only to realize his family is just going to get Skyrim again and again and again.
That is good.
LMAO.
That is good. That is good. I do like that. He's just getting Skyrim over and over again. There you go. Look at that. And we can now see who it is that's inside the machine. We can now see who's behind all of this chicanery. That's right. It's Bryophyte Bob. He's there all along. There we go. Look at that. Right there.
I have Mask. The next mod for Oblivion should be a mod that makes the remake price reasonable.
The mod that makes the remake price. I don't know if you can mod the price of games, right? I don't know if you can do that. Maybe you could have like a mod in the store that just says, like you get a free copy of on like some kind of Pirate Bay that's just like, hey, you pay this amount and you get what's essentially a free copy, but we donate the proceeds to Bethesda. That'd be an interesting one. You have mech. Oh no!
Hack Steam Easy. I do have an action figure of that IRL. It's a blind box figure. Kinda surprised when I saw the name, and it made me think, LOL Brayo, fight that's my one oomphy.
Oh my goodness. Okay. We've drawn these characters here. I feel like we've gotten ourselves a good little couple doodles. Oh, the pizza is almost done again for the second time. Which means, of course, that it is now time to go over to the oven and get myself a warm, hot,
Lol, a
and
big nose
finished-
creature?
A big nose creature? Is that what we're drawing next? I had a whole thing of like, maybe I could draw one of my OCs. No. We're drawing a big nose creature. Put your pen to the paper. You're drawing the big nose creature.
No, the mech thingy.
We
It's
want the
originally a
big
chibi
nose
bunny.
creature, Greg. Why would you draw anything but the big nose creature?
He already did. It's you, Bob.
It's the only thing we want. More noses. Noses.
Gray, would you squash and crush a goblin's brain with your big boot?
Say noses aren't cute, and you scream at me. No! We want noses. We want noses.
Breaking news. Goblin alert.
Subvert my screams. Also, the pizza is somehow going underneath a pot that I have on my stove while I'm trying to take it off of the plate. That is an unusual occurrence for the pizza to go under a pot. Oh well. We have done our best.
Gray, draw your OC eating undercooked pizza.
Draw the OC eating undercooked pizza. I have returned. We can have her eating undercooked pizza, sure. I was in the middle of trying to draw her. I say OC, she was technically made, or like, I designed her for a friend
Mamma
of
mia,
mine.
Gray! I hope your pizza is bussin'.
My pizza is...
Where's Goblin Slayer?
Where's Goblin Slayer? I need to really change her anatomy. I don't like her arm at all. Don't like her arm in the slightest. But in terms of where is Goblin Slayer is in our
What type of
hearts.
Zaw is it?
Goblin Slayer is in our heart. Right? What type of za? Oh, za, pizza. Pizza! Pizza! Of course, it's only the best kind of pizza, namely Supreme. It's Supreme. It's literally in the name. It's Supreme. It's not even like a debate thing, right? It's in the name.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back, Lazy Buggy Boy. We're just saying that the best kind of pizza is unarguably Supreme.
Also, who's the purple-haired grill?
Here's the purple-haired grill. You mean this one right here?
I don't know
I mean,
that
I think-
pizza.
I think this is more blue than purple, but you know, to each their own. This is a character I made. This is my OC, who I never draw. But I decided, you know what? Maybe I should actually bother committing to doing so for once. Because I never get any kind of... I never spend
some
any time
soda.
with her. So maybe I should do so. Some soda! What kind of soda we got?
Holy moly, this is a gray woman. OC! Get that out of my sight before I draw her in my style, LMAO.
You are welcome to do so. I would be happy to have her drawn.
That hair color is called Art School Lavender.
Art school
Mr.
lavender.
Pip.
She is absolutely the kind of person to be an art school student. She's a very rebellious girl. That's kind of her nature.
Ginger ale.
Not necessarily a bad person, just a rebellious person. Art school lavender. But yes, I do like it if people would draw her. I have only ever had one person draw her besides me, and that was Bob, who drew her for an Assassin's thing a while back. The pizza is very good, by the way.
It's my fave.
What's your fave? Oh, ginger ale. Yeah.
I'm already drawing her right now, Mr. Gray.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Bob. Very cool. Let's see. My anatomy is terrible, but that's okay. We'll get it worked out as we go.
That kind of scary.
What's kind of scary? That we have like a girl like this here? Are you scared of women, lazy buggy boy? You must not be scared of women. Right? Just because she's holding a weapon towards you, right? Just because she's holding some kind of pipe that could bludgeon your skull in doesn't necessarily mean that she's going to use it on you. She will, but it doesn't necessarily mean it.
I'm very scared of women.
You're very scared of women. Understandably so. Understandably so. Who would not be? Oh, I'm not doing the pipe justice at all. Hold on.
Drinking some tea
Pipe
made
is,
of corn,
like,
and it's good.
really off.
Kind of smells like corn kernels a bit, though. Korea, Superpower 2050.
Korea Superpower 2050.
Relay the name, Mr. Gare.
Relay the name. The name of this character is Maya. Spelled like such. Maya. I believe she has a last name, but I don't have it written down offhand. I could ask around though. I asked a buddy of mine for it a while. Actually, let me send him something about this. Let's see.
My baloney has a last name. It's M-A-I-A-H.
Your baloney
So,
has a last
sorry
name?
I could not stay as long this time,
Maya.
but I got a lot of stuff to do. And I got the Tennessee State test to worry about, too. So y'all have fun.
Of course. Enjoy your... I hope you do well with your tests, lazy buggy boy. Thank you for being here as long as you could. We do appreciate it. We salute you.
Something about the baggy pants orange and purplish blue made me think that was key art for some 2000s anime I've never heard of.
Yeah. I guess she kind of does give off a 2000s anime vibe. She's intended to be like for a fairly PG series. A VN, a friend of mine and I were gonna make that kind of got put on hold for a really long time. And so
Gray.
Okay, let me see. Oh, right, we gotta give her her... First off, let's narrow her neck a bit. Her neck is too big. Here we go.
Good anime.
Good anime. I hear you. What is it, Bob? What is it, Bob? What is it? Granime. Gure. What could be on his mind? Okay, I think I've got like a good base, so I can start some more details now.
Gray anime. Granime. Granime.
Good anime.
Bober Jenkins.
I don't think I will ever make any kind of anime. I will make an animation at some point. That actually, I have made animations, and
Bobbert, Jobbert.
But I want to hold off until the time is right. So I'm not going to do so just yet. But they will come. the same goes with videos. I'm going to try and post them all at once, where it's just like, boom, tons of content. But until then, there will be a depth, silence. Nothing's there. Yeah, so she's got this here.
Drawing what you want after a slew of assignments and the,
Tests!
And Tess. Honestly true. It's nice and it's a relief to finally be free of
Dang
some
it,
of these
pressed send
things.
too fast.
I'm not fully free, of course, yet. I've still got more to do. But I think it will be lovely whenever I finally get around to being fully done. I think it'll be lovely to be able to draw for a while. But at the same time, I understand that I can't really make excuses now too much. And we're always going to be busy at some point in our lives. So we can't just keep complaining, oh, I'm busy, and so I don't have time for it, and thereby never make time for anything. We gotta go for it at some point or another. We gotta make a commitment to it. Same goes with most things in life. And it's being confirmed to me more and more as I like talk to older people. I ask them like, hey, is there any time at which life just slows down? And they all tell me no. And they'll say like, oh, maybe retirement, and then all the retired people will tell you, nope, life gets busier after retirement too. It continues to get busier. Life will only ever get busier.
Gracing the song Roundabout by Yes.
Roundabout by Yes. Is that the one that they do for like the JoJo theme? Is that one? The Roundabout. Let me look at the lyrics for Roundabout by Yes.
Drawing a wife after like 4 weeks of making only glass ceramic panels and statuettes is so good, dude.
It's so good. It's so true. I'll be the roundabout. The words will make you out and out.
Goat turquoise
Spend
white
the
horns.
day your way. Call it morning driving through the sound and in out of the valley. I don't know the tune of the roundabout at all. I don't know the song. I vaguely remember that it might be related to...
Thanks, Doc. Oops. Terribly wrong, Mr. Gray.
Terribly wrong? Well, you know what? Even if I'm wrong, am I really that wrong, though, if in the end I made something a little catchy for us to enjoy? I feel like that's sufficient. Yeah, I feel like that's enough. And we'll just remove some area here. It's a bit scratchy, but you know, it is what it is.
Also, it's starting to get a bit warmer outside, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now sing a Maury Calliope song since that's the type of music you listen to.
Sir, yes, sir. Maury Calliope. Song. What's one that's like really like not good? Hold on. There's the R.I.P. song. Maury Calliope R.I.P. lyrics. I don't remember the tune of this. Japanese stuffing. Words. Epic. Maknae killers. Really must hurt. Really must have fun. So true. That you know, I feel like that's better than anything any rapper could produce. Right there, right there. That's true.
I heard you were drawing my girl.
You heard I was drawing your girl?
I can't believe you actually listened to that.
You can't believe I actually listened to that? What, to the or the RIP thing? I remember seeing it once. It was really cringy. The RIP one, I think, is probably one of her cringiest works, and I think it's intentionally that way. I think she's intentionally trying to make you cringe. I've heard some of her other stuff. Like, some of her stuff is not bad. Like, at all. But I think some of her stuff is deliberately intended to make you cringe.
It is a good way to garner hate views.
Yeah, genuinely. She seems to get something off of that. I don't think she primarily gets her audience off of hate views. But I think she mostly gets it off of people who are willing to go in for, like, the irony poison stuff.
She gets it off of gooners.
Maybe we don't talk too explicitly about that particular subject on this particular stream. Let's see here. Let's give her a slightly thinner neck.
Right.
There we go. Let's give this something like this here.
Who's your favorite Power Ranger? Mr. Gray. Mine's the one with 6 colors.
6 colors? That's wait. Why would you have a Power Ranger with multiple colors? Why not just have one? You're supposed to be like Red Ranger, Black Ranger, Blue Ranger, etc. Being a multicolored Power Ranger takes away the point. You've lost the purpose.
There's a song called Kira Killer by Zutamayo that Mori is in. It's surprisingly decent compared to every other song she's done. Probably BC, it's a collab with somebody else. Gray Orange.
Gray orange. What about my orange? Are you talking about her color scheme? That I've made her have like an orange and gray type thing? I know, it's pretty cool, isn't it? That I would incorporate something like that into a character.
Gray, orange, Purangishmurang.
Yeah, Badger, welcome to the stream. I don't think I said anything to you earlier. We are, in fact, drawing Maya. I am drawing Maya. I think some others may be as well. But, you know, it's all right.
Gray-orange.
Gray-orange. Orange-schmorange.
Pukra-yoramge. Me eat orange.
I feel like her waist is too thick. I feel like this is a problem with, like, women's waists in, like, drawings. If you don't give them an hourglass figure, it looks wrong. But if you give them an hourglass figure, you're like, I feel like it's a bit too much. It's kind of weird. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know what to do. There we
Gotta find the
go.
balance.
Yeah. That's really what it's about. Finding the balance there. Let me get Maya like
Muscle, muscle?
muscle. I don't think she's supposed to be that muscly in terms of a character. She's not necessarily weak. I think she's probably stronger than an average girl, but I wouldn't classify her as like a muscle girl. That much is for sure.
Gray has 40-inch biceps.
This is true. This is true. They outstrip people's entire heads and cars as well. While we're at it, they are just that huge. Source, trust me, bro.
Elsie. With that angle, her right side, your left, of the waist can have a less dramatic curve.
Reddit.
Your left can have a less dramatic curve. Thank you very much, Peter. You know it's bad when Peter's having to correct me on my whatchamacallit, on making it less what's it called? Curve, and making my women less curvy. You know it's bad when that's happening. I love you, Peter. Thank you.
Female anatomy.
Female anatomy. Oh, Icy Love has sent me an image. Yo, Icy, thank you very much.
Nah, it's just that I draw the woman body way too much to know LMAO.
Everyone, look at this. This is amazing. Thank you, Icy. This is awesome. I love it. Look at her. She's so cool. She's so cool. She's a cool girl. I love it. Thank you.
Yay! Loved the colors had to draw her. Oh, fire.
Yay.
Yo, that's sick.
She's absolutely great. I love it. Thank you. Oh, Elsie is sick now.
Thank you.
Oh, let me figure out.
Lil.
So we want to get rid of stuff like this. This is very true. I think that there is some intellectual capacity to be attributed to. I think that it's rather overlooked by scholars. Here we go. Look at that.
Speaks to us all.
I was gonna ask someone to test something for like the other stuff, but just to make sure.
Great. Can you say yeah? So deal I go. First,
You know, I feel like I should leave it to the professionals. I feel like some people do it better than others, and that's not me. You know, I'm just not as good as some people are at doing H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H.
Why is Elsie Lego?
Elsie is Lego because someone said Lego earlier, and we have a Lego form of Elsie.
That lasted like 50 syllables longer than I expected it to.
I agree. It lasted really long. We gotta give her her coat. Her coat, jacket thing. Here we go. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Let me get her a... Erase that part of her arm. One of these days, I'm gonna have to study female anatomy with you, Peter. Gonna have to learn. Gonna have to learn. But today is not that day. Today we make plethora of mistakes, a plethora of mistakes, and we make them galore.
Gray, if you had to eat either 40 bugs or 20 scorpions, which one would you choose?
Either 40 bugs or 20 scorpions. I feel like 40 bugs is better if I can choose the bugs. I feel like I could be like, on a technicality, shrimp are bugs. So I get to eat shrimp. I feel like I could get away with that, right? I feel
Some
like
of
that's
the bugs
reasonable.
may be scorpions.
Okay, so it's randomized. It's just 40 random bugs.
Scorpions is bugs. In some countries, scorpions are sold in street carts.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so maybe if the scorpions are like cooked. Maybe if the scorpions are cooked from the outset, right? Maybe there's something we can do. Because really, there's a way to enjoy it, to not have to horribly suffer for it. But we shall see.
I went to a natural history museum in Australia as a kid, and they had the bug lollipops at the gift shop.
Are you rapping? That's horrifying. That was a horrifying rap. Amazing. Can't tell if I'm giving her enough room for her shoulder here.
Ip 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 ip.
Give her the eyes and the glasses now. I do like her drawing. I do like drawing her. Sus. Why did LP beatbox? Is she broke? Yeah, she's broken now. Sorry, hold on. Let me fix her real quick. I think the beatboxing broke her. There we go. She should be fixed now.
Swoosh!
Okay, we have the updated version of the image IC sent us earlier. Thank you very much, IC. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool.
Yo, I'm Elsie, and I'm here to say I like to read chats to my friend Gray.
Yo, I'm Elsie, and I'm here to say I like to read chats to my friend Gray.
I baked you a pie. Oh boy, what flavor? Pie.
What if...
After you showed it off, I realized some places were uncolored. Wah.
Yeah, I hate when that happens. It sucks. I just realized, what if we had Elsie make us some raps, everyone? What if we had Elsie make another rap for us? Or more music for us, but this time she made a rap in the style of Maury Calliope. That way we could enjoy creating something new and lovely together.
Aw, zip zoom all around the room. It's ball pets, mother trucking ball pets. No.
So...
No.
I mean, isn't her bit in the anime is that she's some kind of soul reaper of bad souls? Those who saw the infomercial know what I'm talking about.
There we go. I don't know what
I'm
commercial
crying.
you're talking
Face?
about, I'll be honest.
Crying. Face. Crying. I'm
Ball
face.
Pets, mother
Loudly
ball
crying.
pets.
Haste. Face. Loudly crying. I'm face. Loudly crying. Mo on the face.
There we go. I feel like her eyes are off center.
Whatever. Go my loudly crying face.
I don't like how her eyes are placed.
Buffering.
Oh my goodness. Look at her. Look at that face.
Great
Oh,
book.
look at that stupid face.
What the hell you lo?
It's
I
amazing.
love that face.
You flip it ever so slightly. Your errors come to light.
Same smirking.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh!
There we go. Move this one slightly over. Boop. Now it doesn't feel right. I feel like her eyes are too large. Not in terms of like the irises like they normally are, but in terms of like
When I heard Elsia
The
make that
side.
sound, I knew it was you, Bob. Iglol.
it's always Bob. Everything's brighter with Bob.
It's gonna be my birthday in a while, 29th April.
Yo!
Can you draw a Jeff pretty please and thank you, oh.
I would be happy to draw
After
you a
this
Jeff.
one,
Yes, I would be happy to draw you a Jeff for your birthday. Happy birthday! Happy birthday, Norm. Everyone say happy birthday to Norm. Happy birthday, Norm.
Well, you're gonna be old. Oh, lol, 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 lol.
Yarf.
Happy dappy birthday. Happy birth, Norm. Happy birth.
She's got the glasses.
Why was she so loud with Jorf?
Jorf. She just really likes Jorf.
There was an echo.
Your birthday will be on the next Gray stream.
Your birthday will be on the next Gray stream? Really? Is that actually the actual birthday? Your birthday is next Gray stream? Do we need to make next Gray stream dedicated to you and just you? Do-do.
And IEKO, even I have my name as Norm on this account. I think was watching a lot of Norm McDonald's at the time and thought it was a funny name.
Understandable, understandable.
Yerp, them's the rules.
That is in fact the rules. We are now obligated to do so. I feel like I'm missing an important detail somewhere. Ah, this is off.
Anime pants.
Anime pants? Are you saying that her pants are wrong? She needs better
Panty me.
Pantime? What's wrong with her
You
pants?
know, like in Kingdom Hearts?
What's wrong with her pants?
Keep going.
No rules, keep going. Okay. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Okay. I think her hand over here is too big, so I'm gonna shrink it.
Floppy pants.
Sloppy pants. I do like these pants. I think these can look very nice. Right? I don't know how I'd feel about them in person, but I see images with girls like wearing that and I'm like, ooh, that looks nice. That's how I've always thought about it anyway. Here we go. There we are. Look at that. She's got nicer glasses
K-pop girls
now.
wear those a lot.
K-pop girls wear those a lot.
I also like big pants, OF.
Oh, so true. She's got big glasses. She's got that, for lack of a better term, that...
Sure they do.
Well, maybe I should do have a better term. That art student girl vibe that people like. I should try coloring her in now. I very rarely do color. Should try and do some color.
Fluffy pants are nice, because then I don't have to draw legs. That's why I like drawing skirts and dresses too.
True. So
I know what
true.
term you were gonna say. Baggy pants. Tight tops are cool on men too.
You knew that I was going to refer to an art student who is of particular
I'd like to see a
notoriety
great
in the
rendered drawing.
world-
They
in the-
rep pretty good.
in the 1900s. Did you know that I was going to say that? I was going to refer to that. I like to see a gray rendered drawing. They're pretty good. Oh, you mean like a colored drawing or a drawing that I have rendered? Okay, I use the same gray for the thing. I tend to be pretty sloppy with my like expectations about coloring in stuff. Or sorry, line work. I tend to be pretty sloppy with it, I think.
Lol, Elsie, a ton read into a Reddit mod for that one. I mean, it's always good to see color stuff from ya.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I agree. I do like doing the more colored stuff. I guess I always feel more comfortable with the gray, like the black and white stuff. The
Lol,
gray,
this crying face.
the
Here,
gray
by
stuff,
here.
if you will. Is it not? Oh, the gray stuff? Huh? Huh? I do want to try and render it, though. I'm not very good at the rendering part. That is something... What? That is something that I need to work on, is, like, the kind of things you would do to it after you've already colored it in, mostly. What do you do with the skin to make it have, like,
Yarp me
that
circle,
nice
you warpy woo. Glory, yarp, you warp.
Yeah, exactly, like that. There's lots of little spaces in here that make, like, tiny changes that are mildly annoying. Here we are. Okay, so we get like a
Do you
base...
mean like final touches and effects and stuff?
Yeah, stuff like that. I'm not very good with that kind of thing, generally. Right? Because I can get to a drawing where it's like, okay, this person is pretty well made, I think, in my view. But is it something where it's got, like, the finesse of a professional drawing? No. And the times that I've tried doing that, it took me like a full month.
Hair shading is really fun.
Did not look good. Hair shading is really fun. I'm kind of curious what you mean by this. About shading hair being fun. Curious.
Me help Gray? Final touch someday. Me help Gray. Me meet with Gray. Me help Gray. Oh.
Perhaps today will be the day that you help me with it. Perhaps today will be the day that I will finally bring someone onto the stream besides just myself for us to engage with. But maybe that's a little too... That's a little too... What's the term?
I'll be online until 11.
I'll be online until 11.
Special guest.
Special guest.
What's that?
EST. Understood. I don't like how it looks. I don't like the look it gives on the inside. What the heck is going on here?
Then you can use his voice to train up his voice robot. LOL.
Exactly! Now you're getting it.
That's true.
Hold on, let me just expand her eye over here a little bit. I don't think this goes very well with it. I don't think this brush goes well with
Oil be
coloring the eyes
Australian
like that.
again.
don't think this brush goes well with the eyes being colored in like that now that I'm seeing it. You'll be Australian again. Here we go. Hold on. Okay, let me do a little bit more shading. We do this.
This is a very cool drawing, Gray. Thank you for your service.
Well, thank you very much. Barry, so glad to have you. Yes, indeed. I am drawing one of my OCs. First time I've done so in a long time. It's fun to do so. Right, I have OCs. Ah, my goodness, my eyes are suddenly killing me.
I am always here.
You are always here. So
OC
true.
art.
There you go. Oh, see art. Oh, you sent me art. I see.
Gray, I gave my friend Spider a bug and she ate it.
Our O's.
I have someone who is making a request but refuses to use the YouTube chat. Locket, if you are here, give me a like, comment, subscribe. Well, maybe not comment.
Oh,
if you're
not
really
yet.
afraid of it.
Almost, though, Mr. Gray.
Give me a like or whatever. I shall make what you desire. Ooh, spooky. Our OC, comrade. Our OC. Listen, all I'm saying is, right? I simply think that, you know, our OC, my OC, what's the big deal? What's the big difference?
Remember
huh?
to smash that like and subscribe button.
What's the big difference between our OC and my OC? There's nothing worth worrying about with that. Just let me call it my OC. Mine. What the? What?
What's yours is mine, after all.
Yes, exactly. What's yours is mine. What's mine is also mine. Yeah. Look at that, right there. Okay, we have ourselves a cute little Maya, right? We have ourselves a cute little Maya right there.
Suggestion, she should have a chat command where she hits Gray with a tire iron.
Elsie or Maya? I've thought about adding Maya to the to chat, making Maya in here. I think I should make Maya's eyes bigger. Now that I'm like stepping back a little bit, I want to make her eyes bigger. Oh gosh, I just saw it. I just saw. Oh boy. Let's just get rid of all this extra stuff.
Moth eyes.
Moth eyes? Hey now, you wouldn't say that to someone in person, would you? That's rude.
Is that level of tint legal in your state?
Is that legal of tint legal in my state? Listen, right? She simply wants to make sure that people understand how justice is blind, and that's why she is swinging around a bat with her eyes prevented from seeing, right? She has taken justice is blind quite literally. She's upholding...
Hardcore.
Hardcore indeed. There we go. Select, invert.
She is so right for that. Hardcore blossom.
There we go. Now we have the shades just being the shades. Just as a
Girl
shades.
boss.
Someone has
Girl
sent me-
boss.
Someone has requested that I draw a spider girl named Octavia. I will have to do so after I do the request for Jeff. Jeff comes first before Octavia, and then Octavia goes next. We will have Octavia. Daughter of Octavian. Feels like these should be bigger.
Spider-Girl bros. It's so over.
It's so over. Mild inconvenience, mild delay. It's so over.
Maya in the Discord deems.
Maya in the Discord deems. Yo, let's go. Yo! I love it. Look at this. Everybody, everybody. Look at her go. Oh, this is amazing. I love this. Thank you, Bob. This is awesome. Remember to burn down orphanages.
Yo, she looks sick. Epic.
I love
Very
it.
cool, Bob.
She looks great. Absolutely great.
Thanks, Doc.
Oh my goodness. I love it. Doo-doo-doo. Let me go back to her eyes. I feel like her eyes are currently too narrow. I feel like I can modify them though. Alright, we separate the eyes out from the rest. Doo-doo. There we go. So keep that there. This I think I'm gonna remove, and we're gonna make her eyes anew because I can. And I want to try and make her eyes nicer and bigger. Here we go. She's got a...
Now that it's spring, does Gray do any gardening?
Do I do any
Eyes are the
gardening?
entrance to the soul.
I am not going to be doing gardening, but I am going to be foraging random weeds off the side of the highway. I am not joking. This is something I will be doing next week. This is something I am unironically going to start doing next week.
King!
Why am I going to start doing that? If only I knew. But you know, it'll work out, I'm sure. It'll work out. It'll
Gray
work
the
out.
hunter-gatherer.
The hunter-gatherer. There we go.
Weeds are friends.
I always give little Pokeball eyes. I feel like Pokeball eyes are some of like the best kinds of eyes that you can draw with anime. Not
This is very based, actually. Everyone should know and understand their local flora.
I don't know or understand them at all. All I know is that these ones are the ones that the birds like, and they treat it like crack. They treat it like crack. And so I have to feed their addiction. I have to feed the birds' weed crack addiction And yeah, that's the plan. Step 1, get weeds. Step 2,
Get them into rehab.
Get them into rehab. Step 3, fail rehab and just do it all over again. Okay, I think that should be good for getting the eyes big enough that
Gray
I
finds
like it.
crack in the street. He feeds it to young animals for likes on YouTube.
For likes on YouTube, I'd do it for dislikes, but I don't know if that meant anything actually. Now that I'm saying it. There we go. Okay, fix that up. Fix that up. And then this. Now her eyes feel too big. What
Crow
the
on
heck?
crack would be terrifying.
I don't get it. What is wrong with her eyes? Why are they so weird? Why are they so weird? Gosh, that looks awful. Hold on.
I think you were onto something there. Move that left eye. Her right. Over a bit. Also, hi, Gray.
Hey Seth, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. I was on to something with moving that left eye. Welcome, Seth, to the great little thingamajigabob we are doing right now. I think we're making great success on Maya right now. The chin could be better. That's okay. We don't need to
This
make
was
it
my
perfect.
entire art journey. Slightly readjusting small details for hours until I decided I hated it too much. Seth,
Yeah, maybe
Gray
not
said
the
you
best-
stink.
Maybe
What's
not
our
the
theme
best
right
way to
now?
do it. What's our theme right now? Right now, we're just doing a normal art stream, right?
You
We're just
literally
doing a-
didn't shut up, Bob.
You literally didn't shut up, Bob. Right? All I gotta say right now is, Seth, right? I don't know about the stinky allegations. All I'm saying is I've heard some concerning things from some reliable sources, and I'm worried for you, buddy. All right? I'm worried for you.
Loudly crying face.
There we go. The theme right now is just general drawings. Bob, are you down to help me out with rendering? I don't even know if I want to render this one. I don't like her eyes. Nothing I do with
More
her
slander
eyes.
from the CCC boys? What else is new?
Nothing I do with the eyes makes me happy. This is the point in the drawing where I reach one detail that I keep like banging with a stick, and I'm like, nothing I do with this one detail will ever be good. And then I change one other small thing, and I'm like, oh, it's fine.
Whatever you want to do. Gray, I'm down for whatever.
Alright, hold on. Let me add something here. Let me show something that I've kind of kept hidden from you all. Whoop. You see that right there? That's our little Discord friend. Bob. Let's have a little chat. A little chit-chat, shall we, Bob? Hold on, let's see if it'll actually pick up. Hold on. Hold on. Say something? It's not catching. I love
Buffering.
when...
Oops. Buffering. Oops. This Bob guy isn't all he's cracked up to be.
Okay, well, you're just gonna have to be reliant on the fact that I can stream for you on Discord in addition to the stream on there. All right, don't rely too much on that. There's always gonna be a slight delay. Hold on. I don't know if it's gonna let me. I probably need like application audio.
We can hear
Hold
him.
on. We can hear him? Oh,
I just
good.
heard him coughing.
Oh, okay. I see what it is. It's just that I
I
have
heard him laugh and cough.
I have the threshold really high. Then that's what it is. There you go. Okay. Discord. While you say hi to the chat, Bob. Say hi to the chat while I look for whatever it is that's letting you speak, because I don't think you should be able to speak. Speak. Nothing on here should allow you to speak. There is no reason you should be able to speak, and yet you do.
Classic Bob. Coughing and sneezing and snarling and gnarling and gnashing and ripping and tearing. Nope.
Nope. This is very true. Very true. Yeah, there's nothing new. Nothing new. I don't know. You can't hear it. They said they can hear. Oh, you know what? It's probably just catching up the wrong way. Discord capture. Here we go. How about now? Okay, maybe yeah. You should all be able to hear Bob now. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
J and I, Bob. As in, I hear no Bob. Silence.
Complete silence, really? Oh, I know what it is.
Still can't hear him.
How about now?
Hello, hello, hello.
I know that it's picking you up. The question is whether or not...
Oh, there we go, there we go. Now it's working.
There we go.
As they say, silence is golden.
Hello.
Everyone, welcome Bob to the stream.
Oh, it's working now.
This is the Bob...
Okay,
Some
now
weird guy
I'm
saying
gonna
hello in the background.
mute your stream so that I don't keep
Is
hearing
that Bob?
myself.
That is,
yeah.
in fact, Bob. We have Bob. We have Bob, everyone. We have technology. We have our first guest.
Howdy doody.
Welcome. So Bob, welcome to the stream. Do you have anything you want to say to our audience?
Yes. Read Squish.
Classic. Read what? Read what?
Read Squish. Read
Read
Squish.
Squish. Squish is pretty cool. I am quite fond of Squish. If you will all... Here, I'll stream for you, just so I'm not... Just... You're not, like, behind on whatever
Bouncing
it is that I
between two screens here, yeah. Alright, let's see.
So I do say Squish is quite good. You know, I've drawn a bit of
I
Squish
was gonna
over
say
here.
something mean, but he gives good
It's true.
advice.
Yeah, true, exactly.
Squish is full cute and wholesome relationships.
Seth knows what's up. Seth knows what's up.
Okay, so Bob, you understand art, right? You're the quote-unquote art expert that we're bringing on today to show everyone how it's done, of how to do the what was it you called, the final touches, the what is the term for this?
I don't. Well, are you looking for shading, or are you looking for rendering shading?
Rendering shading.
Okay, so
you know about stuff. You clearly do.
I know
Final
about
destination.
it. I've heard a thing or two. I wouldn't call myself an expert by any means, but
you are our resident expert, classified as such. You can trust everything he says. It is legal advice. It is medical advice, legal advice, medical advice, art advice, relationship advice.
I can't call it art advice, but it is legal advice.
Everything he says should be taken completely literally, and you should follow it to the letter, and he is fully responsible for any consequences that follow.
And that's why you gotta burn down those orphanages. That's what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
Maya would agree with this.
Maya is quite fond of it. Now, I'm not quite liking these eyes, but maybe I should just avoid overcommitting to like any particular edit of the drawing. But I want to hear your take. What do you think we should do, Bob? What is our path from here? What does the art expert, quote unquote, say?
Well, I'd say it depends. I mean, so what are you looking for out of the eyes? Do you think that they have a problem with like expression, or I think the pupils might be facing in slightly different directions, which might be
that might be part of it. Yeah,
might be part of why it might feel a little off.
Mm-hmm. This is true. See, our art expert is already giving us key advice. Take notes, everyone. Take notes. This will be on the quiz.
My expertise in art has been growing since last year. I started last year.
You started drawing?
Gray was actually my educator. He taught me how to draw.
Wow, that's amazing. Tell me more about this Gray guy. He sounds really cool.
He does these art streams. They're pretty fun.
Wow, yeah. We should totally check out those art streams. I'm quite fond of this idea.
Most likely. And if someone were to be on those art streams, they should probably like, comment, and subscribe just in case.
Oh gosh.
Perhaps even like smash the bell button.
Yeah, smash the bell button.
That might be a good idea.
Post a link in the chat.
Post a link in the chat. Post a link. Oh yeah, they want you to, as the art expert, post a link to your sources of this cool Gray guy. I think whatever link you post will be immediately blocked by YouTube, blocking you from sending links. So maybe another time we'll allow such a link. We'll send such a thing to everybody.
There is actually a way you can get that link from here. It's if you go into the search bar. Mm-hmm. And you go to the left and you click the refresh button. That should bring you there.
He's got a point. If you do the refresh button now, you'll be able to see exactly what we're looking at.
Also, Gray, I have it on good source that you might have a piece of fan art.
I do in fact see this good source sending me something now. Everyone, we do have more fan art. Look at this! Look at this! Let's go! Dropping my pen in the dark. Here, thank you so much. This is awesome. I'm loving it. I am loving it.
Oh, wicked sick.
Absolutely amazing. 10 out of 10.
Very nice.
Yo, Seth.
Nice.
Oh, wait.
Seth is based.
Wrong thing.
For 26% of goal.
Yo, Seth, thank
support
you.
on Ko-fi. https ko-fi.com pseudo gray.
Thank you very much. Snooping as usual, I see. Snooping as usual. It appears as though someone is snooping. Someone is snooping. Very, very much. Thank you, Seth, for your donation. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. If you have any requests you'd like to make, they will be moved to the front of the line.
Snooping as usual, I see.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Okay, so I don't think I've fixed the audio issue, but continue.
Yeah, I think I think it for now it's fine.
Okay.
If we want to hop into rendering, and then, do you want to do like a cell shading? Do you want to do hard light shading? Did you want to do?
You know, that's a great question, Ben. Why don't you tell our viewers, who are obviously not very experienced with this art stuff, what the difference
Draw
between
Dr.
those two
Robotnik
is?
from the Adventures of Sonic
Cell
the
shading.
Hedgehog.
You would have it be
I'll
like
draw Robotnik while you're doing this.
cells, as in flat. You'd have flat. You put me on the spot here, really, but
I'm putting
it's
you on
showing
the
off.
spot.
I never went to art school. I'm just I'm an amateur hack, but flat. It would be like flat shapes. It would look like a ramp shader in a 3D modeling program, which I guess is a really bad comparison.
Phony Guy Bob here.
Oh yeah, 3D modeling program. I see.
But basically, it's just each shaded section would be a different
This guy's a bit
shading.
phony.
It would be a different value and hue, typically reflective of the color that is next to it. Whereas, like something like smooth shading would typically follow the natural path of light and not have a cutoff or a sharp line where it could be shown where it is.
Big doofus.
Unless the natural shape of that object would dictate that.
Of course. And this very sciencey way of talking this is something like a gradient, yes? A gradient versus like a split thing?
Yeah, a gradient versus a line and a fill tool.
Exactly. These are the differences between something like our wonderful fancy schmancy skin shading and our Family Guy shading, for lack of a better term.
And we love our Family Guy shading.
Family Guy is influential for a reason. You're right.
Yeah, it's influential because of its excellent writing, excellent comedy, and very underused jokes. Nothing ever gets old or tired.
Personally, I think that Family Guy is popular not because of any of those, but because people are really impressed by the art style. They're like,
I think that's
Studio
true as well.
Studio Ghibli has been real quiet since Family Guy season 23 dropped.
It's true. You also know that there's a significant portion of people who are very, very impressed with the character work. I think that the characters of Family Guy are very strong, well-defined, and very relatable too.
The audio is not working anymore, I think. Hold on.
Is it not?
On test. No.
Test.
Oh, never mind. It is.
It's working.
You know Family
It's
Guy
working.
has some crazy good animation. Post the lunchroom fight scene for the 4 millionth time.
Post the lunchroom fight scene.
It's true, Seth. And that's just a scene they ripped off from Kingsman.
Amazing. There's a lot of stuff that they ripped off that they got posted and people were like, wow, that's great. That's amazing.
Well, they did that whole like Quentin Tarantino episode that people liked that. People like to post that rather.
Let's see. So we have Dr. Robotnik here.
That's a very good Dr. Robotnik.
So as an example of cell shading, we can use Dr. Robotnik here real quick.
Yeah,
right?
let's quickly color Dr. Robotnik so that we can dive into some cell shading there.
Here, let me figure out his colors. It's got like this.
He's got a big red belly.
Big red belly. He's like Santa, right?
Exactly like Santa.
He must be
Except
the good
instead
guy.
of
Dr.
toys, he
Robotnik.
brings you
I say what I
robots,
want.
which are basically just toys.
I say crud and sludge.
Say crud and sludge. Who says sludge? Who says sludge?
Miners.
Miners.
Deep in the mines.
Deep underground.
They pour out crud and sludge. That's a very charming
Fingers lol.
Dr. Robotnik.
Oh, thank you. You know, I put my heart and soul into the stuff that I make. So I feel like it's
an
really...
shape.
That's what shape?
Snooping. I said it's an excellent shape.
Exactly, exactly. You're getting it. You're getting it. This is inspired by various different pieces from such extravagant artists as. Hold on, let me look up his name.
Akira Toriyama.
No, oh yeah, Akira Toriyama.
And,
Van Gogh, Jeff Koons. I'm drawing from like the greatest artists of all time.
Of course.
Up and live on stream.
Ben live on stream. That's right. He is. He is in fact live on stream.
It's true. It's true.
Okay, so we have here our little test, right, of what exactly it looks like, and we're gonna do some showing off of cell shading on botany.
So now here's a big question, Gray.
Yeah.
Do you want to choose the color of each shade, or do you want the computer to choose it for you? There are benefits and drawbacks to each.
Yeah. I personally am not a big fan of this whole like me choosing things. That's part of why I started the whole stream, so other people could choose for me. So I'm really curious then.
And boy, do I have some fun advice for you. If you create a new layer and you set its blending mode to multiply.
Whoa, multiply.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Then I can draw something over top, and whoa, it's making a cool color.
True. It's true. Now you won't be able to see much on the pants since they're pitch black, but anywhere else you'll be able to see it. Typically on multiply layers, it's good to use higher value colors, so colors closer to white on the value scale. Any saturation works. Typically, mid-range saturations are nice with multiply, depending on the colors that you're working with.
You want something closer to white like this?
Just for a subtler shade, typically. The closer you have it to white, the more subtle the shading will be.
Look at that. It's subtle shading. I like it. I like it. Look at this right here. Look at this. Subtly shaded Eggman. Right here.
And typically, you'll want the color of the shading to be a bit of an opposite, or at least in the realm of opposite, of the color of the light coming in.
The opposite light coming in. So
I used to do light grayish beige
so
on
if you had a
50%
yellow light,
multiply.
a purple shading would make sense, or blue. Something around that. I would use the color wheel over conventions.
I see. Look at that. We just made ourselves. We'll assume that we are. I mean, the purple we're using seems to be an opposite of green, so we're having a green light, I suppose.
Yeah, something along those lines. Maybe more like a greenish yellow, like an unearthly yellow.
So we want
but frankly,
like this.
It's subtle enough, I think, that you don't actually have any qualms with most typical lighting colors with this shading.
I've just changed the lighting color so it's closer to yellow.
Well, I'd say it's good as is, but yeah. The shading color you have is very, very nice for an outdoor scene.
Exactly. Very cool, very cool. All right, so let's see then. So we have the cell shading, but what about the other kind of shading?
Well, with smooth shading, it's basically the same thing as cell shading, but you use smoother brushes. So with a multiply layer, you can paint the entire layer white, and then grab a gouache brush. It's my personal favorite. This one takes a lot more practice, but if you go into the brushes, select the center one, I think it is.
Gouache.
And then Wash. There you go. And now you can select your shading color and just paint on some shading.
Great, check your DMs, blushies.
Oh, I have something in DMs from someone. Yo, hey, look at this. We have fan art of Maya. Let's go. Peter, thank you. I love it. She's great.
That looks excellent.
10 out of 10, dude. I love it. Oh my goodness. Very good.
Thank you, thankies.
That is awesome.
And that looks awesome.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna be learning how to do shading, just like that, folks. Just like that. Ben's gonna turn what we've drawn, this Eggman here, into this.
Well, I'll guarantee you that the brush you're currently using won't have the same effect as that.
Yeah. I know. Okay. So we have the gouache brush. We have a color for it, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we're just kind of brush over it like so.
Yes, and don't be afraid to get real heavy on the edges, and don't be afraid to shrink your pen down when you need to add a little bit of detail. But you'll notice with the gouache brush, it inherently adds a bit of texture to things.
Mm-hmm.
You want to take a closer look so your stream can see.
Yes. Let's all look together here. So we see the closer look at this. I'll do a little bit of stuff over here.
Gives it a little bit more of a semblance of
Yo, nice art, Peter.
Of some kind of fabric or texture or, well, material, I suppose.
Yes, indeed. I can see it already. You know, we got like a little bit over here. We're doing just a little bit of this. We're already getting some more depth to the character that's not just one-dimensional, but gradual, in a way that you don't necessarily notice at first.
What program is being used?
Subtle change. I am currently using Clip Studio Paint, Fuko. I'm quite fond of Clip Studio Paint. I think they're pretty good. They don't necessarily have the best business practices.
Think. Also, while we texture, I can feel Eggman's big round.
I personally like being able to purchase something once.
Yeah. I mean, they do have the purchase something once thing. They just don't give you more stuff. But...
Well, sure. You can always buy the more stuff, though.
You can. I don't... Most of the more stuff I don't really look at and think, oh yeah, I totally want that. Like, the only exception for that was recently they had, like, a new update for it that includes, like a bone mesh thing for animation, and I was like, that sounds so cool. I want that.
Yeah. I would also be very interested in that. I used to work with Unity bones a lot in college, so I'd be interested to get an animation program that allows me to rig 2D animations as well.
No, I have it. I haven't installed it or tested it or anything because I haven't had the time. But it is on my to-do list to like bother doing the bone mesh thing and seeing if I can get anything interesting with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
this
as
is
part
the
of
effects
the as part of any shading, it's always important to keep in mind where your light is coming from.
Mm-hmm. So we want to make sure that we remember that the light's coming from somewhere over here then. Is that right?
Yeah, the upper left. So we can cast some shadows with this collar here. I imagine it's very close to the chest, so we'd want to have those shadows be small and defined. So if you shrink down your brush, very nice. And you do not need to feather that edge almost at all because it's so close to the actual fabric.
Right. Then we'd put it over here too, wouldn't we?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now, the reason I had you paint this whole layer first with white is because the gouache brush has a color application to it, where it picks up the color it previously had down. And while that means that it's very, very good for painting shading onto things, it's terrible if there's no texture or color on the layer it's working on. It becomes a very like crunchy, horrible looking texture. So mixing it with the white makes it look as though it's naturally painted over the red.
Okay. So it avoids
Master Ben,
leaching.
what institution did you learn these skills from? What city did this institution reside in? Maybe even the address and some information about the people who taught you said skills.
I am also curious about this information, Mr. Ben. What is the address of this place that you learned at? And in fact, what is your address as well?
My address?
Yeah. So people can send you fan art and whatnot through the mail.
Well, so my address, I live in a little area known as Washington, D.C. I actually live on Pennsylvania Avenue, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
Yo.
Zip code 2500. It's a very nice little house I live at.
You heard it here first, folks. Send the fan art of Ben bombing an orphanage just like his Maya to that address right now.
Exactly.
And also, we just got more fan art. Everybody, look at this. Look at this. This is awesome. We got Gray. This is so cool.
Now, Gray, I heard your spine actually is shaped like that.
My spine actually is shaped like that, where it's like hunched forward. It does have a lot of...
Very nice.
I like that this drawing actually has the Clip Studio program open in it.
Yeah, that's true. It does.
Inaccurate. I don't see an overcooked raw pizza on the side.
This is true. I have finished half of that pizza. I haven't had time to eat most of it. But... an overcooked raw pizza.
So true.
It's very nice. I'm very fond of this gear. Thank you. It looks very good. This is literally me.
Overcooked raw pizza.
Overcooked raw pizza.
Yes, Seth, it's when you have like it's so cooked on the outside, but then when you bite into it, you have like ice crystals in the center of it.
That's how I imagine you hunched over.
That's how you imagine you hunched over. I don't think my back is that bad. My back is bad, right? But I don't know if it's that bad. It's like when you have food that's like, you cut it open, and on the outside, it's like charred black. Like everything here, completely charred black. But on the inside, right here, you have like a bunch of ice. Actually, hold on. A bunch of ice right here. And that area in the middle is the area where it's kind of okay. Right? This is overcooked raw pizza. It's that, but with pizza. I think it's easier to think about with like chicken, because it's easier to do that with chicken.
Yeah, all that fibrous material packs in those ice crystals.
Okay, so we've just made a wonderful little thing for Seth. Thank you, Seth, for the donation. Dr. Robotnik. Which is now expertly shaded, as we may say. But now we have to go... Oh, wrong things here. Oh, and this is you, Bob. I hope you're happy.
That is me. That is exactly what I look like IRL. That's actually me in my car driving to work.
Yeah, he has like a walking car.
Gray deserves a promotion.
It's true.
Promotion. Bottom. I don't know what it's a pun on, but bottom. Okay, so let's go back to this then. Let's make something with it, right? Let's try and do some kind of thing. So what I learned, if I'm gonna do the thing that you just said, right? I gotta go in, I gotta make a really big white overlay.
If you're doing the gouache
everything.
shading.
We're doing the gouache shading. We're learning from you.
If you want, we could actually do this one in a color picking method.
Oh, go on.
So instead of making a separate layer, we can use the layer with the colors on it and use the gouache paint brush to blend them.
Okay, so instead of doing something like this, where we're just doing something on a separate layer, we
can duplicate the layer, just in case.
Oh no! I just realized.
Oh, whoops.
Colors are on the wrong layer. Well, at least it's an easy one to separate, I think.
There will be some leftover
white particles,
like white box over on the side, but
yeah, hold on.
Should be fine.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be any serious issues. It's a womp womp moment right there. Okay, so you're saying we do something like, here, I'll make a second copy just so we have the original there. We get the gouache brush, and we get the color we're gonna do.
I'm assuming we'll want another upper left light point from the layout of this image.
Now for left light point, sure, let's do that.
Okay, and we can select the color, let's say, of the sleeve. We can focus in on the orange.
Okay, let's look at the sleeve because that seems like the longest part to start with.
And I would suggest moving the color picked to something that's a little bit more red, a little bit more saturated, and a little bit more dark.
Okay, so something like that.
Yes, yeah. In that way, you'll notice almost immediately the color pops quite a bit more than just with the multiply layer.
It's a very pronounced change. It's not just the slight change that we had before that's like hardly noticeable. Now it's something you really see.
Yes, and now I'll also say, with the gouache brush in Clip Studio Paint, it's a nice default brush. It allows you to blend colors, so if you draw with it with a lot of pen pressure, you're going to have a heavy line, but if you start feathering at it with a light touch, you can blend that color with the other color it's adjacent to.
I'm sorry, say it one more time. I think I just noticed the chat is not able to be spoken.
Elsie. Get back to work, Elsie.
There sometimes where Elsie just randomly decides she doesn't want to work anymore, and I have to go in and like slap her on the wrist. Say, hey, get back to work. She should work now, though. She's pretty easy to fix, though.
That's good.
Okay, sorry
Elsie's
about
always
that, Peter. Sorry about that, Peter. Remember, folks, in shading parts of something.
It's true.
I'm actually writing a paper on whether or not things are made of shapes.
In a physical sense?
In the sense of, like, to what extent do mathematical objects exist? Which I don't think any of the people here will care about, but...
Well, I would say typically mathematical objects don't exist at all.
Yes, no, they don't. But if you ask mathematicians, they're incessant and they say, they do.
Good night.
Gear, it was wonderful having you. Thanks for being here. Absolutely
Good night,
great.
Gear.
Oh, hold on, Gear sent us a new version. Let's have
Good night, Gear.
Gear sent us a last little version of...
Let's do a side-by-side.
Right, so we have the original here. Then we have...
Nighty-night
Power
Gear.
maxing. Power maxing, absolutely.
This is the more accurate version, of course, as to the state of my spine after every drawing stream. Right?
Gray the bell ringer.
The bell ringer. Exactly. I am the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Right? This is me right here. building back muscles. Very cool, very cool. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom.
Gray's little drawing dance.
I do like it. It's very good. Let me save it before I forget it. Okay. Okay. Continuing.
Yes, so as Peter so eloquently mentioned, typically with shapes that you're going to be shading, you want to keep in mind the primitive objects that they are made of. And this is in the same way that a mathematical object is an approximate of a real object.
Yes. So true.
So an arm is basically just a cylinder.
Yes. It's a weird
cylinder.
It's like
that flares a bit and molds a bit, but it's a cylinder overall.
It's like pinched at the ends.
Yeah.
When you think about it, but yeah, it's a cylinder. It's just a big, long cylinder like this one here.
It's true. It's true.
Which for some reason doesn't let me fade very harshly over there.
Let's see. So yeah, if you put down a lot of pressure, you'll notice that the pen produces a heavier color. I would suggest, especially with the gouache brush, my personal favorite way to go about it is to apply heavy and then smooth afterwards.
Okay, apply heavy and smooth afterwards. Alright, so we're wanting heavy.
And now you may notice that you are also dipping into the other colors here. That is to be expected.
Yes, and now we're dipping into the...
If you want to use the selection tool to prevent yourself from dipping into other colors,
yeah,
that is also a potential advisable act.
Yeah.
There is also the option of just creating a separate layer for each color,
with the gouache.
and then using that to paint on.
I'm sorry, you and Peter were talking at the same time. You were suggesting that I limit it just to the...
You could have each separate color be its own layer. Peter is also right. You could have a hard airbrush and smooth it out with the gouache to give that sort of like a textured brush stroked feel to it.
Mm-hmm. So in this case, you're recommending less of like, what the heck is going on here? Why is it like becoming like white?
Oh, that is because it is drawing from the white outside, outside of the selected objects.
See, that is not ideal.
So the more you push down, the less it is going to draw. Draw from other colors, I believe.
Gotcha.
I don't know if that's something I added on mine or if that's default, but
it seems like it's doing that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I would suggest using your selection, cut and paste the layer so that you have a separate layer that is just your selection.
Okay. We have this now.
All right. And let me ask you something, Gray. Do you have a shortcut for your color picker?
For my color picker?
Yes.
Yes. If I press a button on my mouse, it automatically does this where I can do that.
Good. That is going to be very useful to you
because I can do like...
throughout this process. That will be essentially your eraser, your smoother, your everything.
Because I'm going to need to do something like this anytime I'm like, oh no.
When I render stuff, I usually have about
and
50
these
to
sorts
60
of brushes
layers of
take
colors
a long time
now.
to get used to entirely, but they do provide some very nice effects in the end once you learn how to use them.
Yeah. Once I learn how to use them is the important part, the important note there.
Yes, yeah. And practice, of course, is always the way that will happen.
Okay, so we have something like that. And there we go. Okay, so we have something like this. What do you think of that rendering, Bob? What should we do with that? Is that good? Do we need to change something?
I would say if you push the shading up at the top of the shoulder, so that it's more light up at the top of the shoulder, and heavier shading a bit lower, it would work well with our upper left lighting.
Then we should make it lighter towards the top, darker towards the bottom.
Or rather, a heavier contour towards the bottom, and a lighter contour towards the top, meaning a wider shadow towards the bottom. Of course, keeping in mind the flow of the fabric.
Okay. So something like this with that.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. There's a big dark shape on the top as well. I would guide some of the lighter shaded orange up to the top a little bit.
Up to the top here?
Yeah, just over at the top, following the contour of that shoulder. On the right side.
Oh, I see.
Just to thin out the contour there.
Good. My eyes aren't very good at perceiving the color stuff, honestly. It just doesn't quite stick with me as much.
It can be a tough process to gain that sort of skill. But again, with all things in art, it's practice.
It's all practice. Very true.
It's all practice. None of it's fun. It's all practice.
I think the practice can be fun.
Generally, when it comes to fabric, based on the material, the shading can be harder or smoother. With typical polyester, it's usually somewhere in the middle, little more on the hard side.
I see. Polyester is kind of mid-range in terms of difficulty.
Drawing 100 hours a day, 10,000 days a week.
100 hours a day, 10,000 days a week. You do got a point, though.
I see is correct. I mean, Foxbot tried.
Yes. I see your point today. Hold on. Okay, so we have something like that. Okay, what about now skin? What about skin?
So skin is an interesting thing.
What the heck is that?
With skin, typically you have to pay attention to undertones a little more than most materials. With different types of skin, sometimes if a person has slightly more like pinkish skin, the shading will be a bit more pinkish. If their skin is a little more on the yellow side, it will be a little less pink and a little more of that beigeur color. So it depends on the skin tone.
Okay, so pink and beige.
Yeah, with at least with this current base that you have, those would be two of the options.
Two of the options as to what kind of skin it becomes?
Yes, the shading will accent the skin. And I would suggest a shade darker than the skin itself.
Okay, darker than the skin itself, so we want something down here-ish. Something like this.
Maybe a little subtler, but I think you could use something along that line. Yeah, and with the gouache brush, you can always do like a light wash over
Skin
and then
subtly reflects
color
light on
pick
itself,
so that you get
which is
something
why
in
the shading
between
has more
if
of the
something feels
undertone
too
color.
harsh.
I can always do the shading back onto itself. I repeat it one more time. Someone said
Yes, sorry.
The overlap, you can't hear the audio whenever someone starts speaking, and so I
can, but it's horribly delayed.
Yeah, okay. You don't always see it. Just whenever you see a new message pop up in chat, just be aware that it's going through.
Yes. Okay.
To me.
There is also a large delay between those things.
Oh gosh. Duly noted.
As in, the message shows up in chat, but does not get read until a few seconds later.
Well, at least you can notice it beforehand. That's a good start.
It's true.
Okay, so
We'll figure out a better system in the future.
we will, I guess. Okay, so we have a color for it, and we want it to be shading.
Yes, yeah.
So we want something like this.
Yeah, with some of the more delicate, like, smaller areas, I would definitely suggest reducing the brush size.
Yeah, any smaller areas.
And also, I would suggest pay close attention to cast shadows. For instance, the arm there is protruding outwards.
Mm-hmm.
Almost the entire upper arm would be covered with shadow, aside from any parts
Almost
poking
the
in.
entire upper arm.
The upper arm specifically, not the forearm.
Oh, so almost this, so all of this stuff right here.
The other part of the arm.
Oh, you meant
part of the arm that
arm.
isn't
You meant
the
this...
actual upper arm, yeah. The part of the
upper
body
arm,
called the upper arm.
in terms
yeah.
of what we normally talk, not the upper part of the forearm, but the upper arm.
Yeah.
Not the arm part that is more up than the rest, but upper arm. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, and again, just keeping in mind that the light is coming from the upper left. Things that are lower to the right will typically not have that heavy shading on them. You know, unless we start bringing in rim lighting and bounce back lighting, things like that, which
it might get more complicated.
Yeah, it does get, lighting gets very complicated, but when you start to pack them in as just, sorry, I just read Peter's message there.
Shaking my head, Master Ben.
Listen, I never claimed to be a master of anatomy.
I claimed that you were a master, and I am then shamed because of your actions. I'm going to be beheaded by the art mafia because of you and your mistakes.
Listen, I took 10,000 years of the art mines. I didn't take 10,000 years of the anatomy mines.
I see.
Also, the biceps can be referred to as the upper arm. That is a normal term for them, Mr. Peter. Another part that will have some shadow cast with it is the top there that you have.
Right, yeah. The top will cast a little bit of shadow over the...
Yes.
When it comes to shading the torso, you are in my wheelhouse, LML.
I'm in your wheelhouse? Just shading... shading the torso, you're in my wheelhouse.
Peter likes a good thorax.
Peter, we'll have you on here at some point, don't you worry. You'll come on, yeah. I'll have plenty to ask you about how to draw women too. Maybe not on stream. Okay, so we're getting a bit more... I'm just kind of brushing along until it kind of vaguely looks like the shape that it should be. I don't know that this is actually how you would do it. It feels like it's way too brightly purple everywhere that it's purple. So I'm gonna...
Well, you can always shift colors. Because this is... You separated the skin as a separate layer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what you can actually do if you're not satisfied with your colors, you can create a you can create a new correction layer.
Correction layer. I don't usually use
so
correction layers, so I'm curious.
They're very useful, especially for color.
Okay.
So if you click on layer at the top,
layer.
On the top of the screen, like the toolbar at the top.
Layer. Okay. It's hidden by the text box, but I believe you. It's there.
All right. Yeah. So the
create
layer,
new correction layer, right?
Yeah, I would suggest. I will suggest as saturation, hue, and luminosity is very easy to figure out. I'm gonna give you a little fun trick that I'm particularly fond of. If you click on gradient map,
okay,
you'll notice that she's now gray.
I see.
So you can set those colors to what those are supposed to be, as in if you just hit OK on this and then hide the correction layer that you've just created, and then you color pick the skin tones, then you can apply those to that by double clicking it.
By double clicking what? This?
The correction layer, yeah. You can bring up what's in the correction layer by double clicking that little like dark gray panel.
Ah. Okay, so you get the correction layer up, the gradient map.
Yeah, so now you can set the white color to being the skin tone.
Okay, so you would do that by just color picking.
Yes, yeah, you can color pick from the swatches over on the left.
Swatches. Oh, I see. Gotcha.
Yes, yeah. And
I somehow
the highlighted
selecting the wrong parts.
Yeah, the highlighted little arrow is the one. Well, you'll also want to put it above only the layer that you're altering, and you'll want to set it to being referencing that layer, as in like the little the thing that adds the little pink line to the left. I forget what it's called.
The clipped layer below.
Yes, that one.
Okay, so we've made it have a. I think I did the wrong side, because it seems to have done the black side rather than the white side.
That's fine. You can switch the two. You can literally drag the arrows.
Bonus tip.
Oh, I see.
The abdomen has a lot of
the way you
subtle
would expect.
contour with the way the subcutaneous fat is distributed. Most styles don't show this, but if you're looking for more realism, it adds a little life to it.
So you get something like
Yes,
that
yeah.
vaguely.
Of course, the study of anatomy is very helpful towards shading skin.
Most styles don't show this, but if you're looking for more realism, it adds a little life to it. Okay. Really noted. The app. A lot of subtle contour.
Yeah.
Okay.
For instance, the navel does add a lot of depth to the the torso.
Yeah. So you wouldn't have something like navel on its own.
Before you start painting on this layer, I would suggest applying the new colors that you have by merging that down into the layer below.
Are we satisfied with the new colors?
The question, Gray, is, are you?
Or am I? I see. I don't know. This pink feels a little too intense for me. So
And you can always change it
I
around.
think I will change it around. I'll make it a less intense pink. That's way too unintense. That's hardly intense at all. It's like lost all of its intensity. Where's the intensity? Where's the fire? This fire is out of control. Burn this city. Burn this city. This fire is out of control. Yeah, okay, it's just not anywhere near as intense as it was before.
Are you using the color on the gradient map?
I am using it on the one that yeah, on the color wheel.
You can also drag uh, you can also drag the arrows so that they basically the way that a gradient map functions is it takes a gradient, which you currently have, and it maps it over all the values in an image. So everything black will be on the far left of that gradient, everything white will be on the far right, and everything in between is just scaled by where it's placed on the gradient.
I see. Okay. I think that is a good demonstration of the skin, so I'll stop for now. I don't want to be a perfectionist about it right now.
It's true.
I'm not working with perfection, I'm working with my drawing. I will do what I can.
It's true. Perfection is the enemy of having fun on a stream.
True. Alright, so I've merged it with the layer below. Alright, and now we have these other stuff, right? We have... Oh gosh, why is it so... That?
It's oil, you know.
It's oily. It's oil, you know.
It is oil. It is truly oil.
What is going on here? What is going on with this? Where it's got like these little particles and pants for some reason.
Zoom in on them.
It's like skin particles that have just developed in the pants.
Try flashing some of your layers on and off.
I removed the skin ones. But, like, before it was, like... Now it's at least working a little bit better.
Interesting. That's good.
Never been a big fan of particles. I think there's probably...
Unity has pretty good particles. I think Godot could use some development with them, but, you know, it still works.
Okay. Alright. So, let's do last little bit, and then we'll move on to Jeff. Because I told someone we would do Jeff, and then we'll do...
Yes, of course.
Then we'll do... What's-his-face? Sorry, what's-her-face? We will do... Where'd she go?
Unreal has great particles that are
Octavia.
100 gigabytes per
We will do
file.
Octavia after that. And then that will probably be the end.
Joe.
That is a lot. Minjal. Unreal has great particles. I don't know what you're referring to at all. We're gonna take this stuff.
That's crazy, Peter.
What does he do? What?
It's
oil?
true. Isn't everything in Unreal Engine like 100 gigabytes per file, though?
Let's see. So we want to go over here. We want to make a gouache. Get like a small little line around here.
Something that always resonated with me that I was taught by an art teacher of mine was
No, the light map is probably a few terabytes.
The phrase "work big first and then go small." So it's like I mean, you're doing it right now, but just as like a phrase to keep in mind, having those like big swaths of shading and then like cleaning up around the edges afterwards will ultimately make things look a lot better.
I agree. Seeing the big picture can definitely help a lot more than just like being obsessed with like getting a minor detail right early on.
Exactly.
In the big picture, the minor details aren't going to matter as much as what it comes out to be. But it's very easy.
Gray, what would you do if one day you're going through your art gallery and you see out of the corner of your eye, one illustration moves, and when you look, is giving you side-eye, but completely still?
I personally think if one of my illustrations started giving me side-eye, I'd think that they are just mad that I didn't spend more time rendering them, like I did with Maya. And they should be shot.
Start big, work small. What if the thing I'm drawing is big as a hole?
What if the thing you're drawing is big as a
Peter,
hole?
everything you draw is big.
Everything you draw is big, Peter.
Words to live by?
So true, so true.
Slander.
Gray, would you ever do that to one of your drawings, though?
Shoot them?
Yeah,
Or-
do you think you ever would?
I think I would be fine shooting and killing in a brutal way Deadpool.
That's fair.
I feel like he deserves it, and I would not hold anything back. Not even for
That makes
What
sense.
3 drawings would you
What about the
definitely
little me in a
100%
mech
shooting?
eater? Would you
I-
brutally destroy that?
I don't know if I could. You know, if it's a mech, the little you in a mech would probably destroy me if I tried. I'm
Do you,
more
thi-
in
do you
danger.
think the little me in the mech might have missiles? Might have little missiles shooting out?
I don't know about missiles, but I feel like it's got like.
If you had to shoot
strength.
Elsie, what would you replace her with?
If I had to shoot Elsie,
Oh,
I've
Maya.
actually-
About your minion
I've
art
actually been
collection.
thinking about replacing Elsie at some point with like Maya or something else because I'm like, you know, Elsie's technically the property of like some other people.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it, like referencing it either because it's like a really old show
Elsie.
and it has a lot of old things on it, and I'm like, I don't feel super comfortable. So being able to use my own character too also kind of feels nice. So.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about and kind of moving towards replacing her, but it's not happening yet.
I would say, sounds like a good idea. Mostly because I think Maya is a very marketable.
The Gray
fun
replacement.
character.
The great replacement, but specifically for Elsie.
The Gray replacement.
The
Well, we
Gray-
got 2 Grays on stream right now. You could always have
Would you
Gray
ever
at
attempt to make a
as
live
just like a
2D model?
Smurfette version of you.
A live 2D model. I actually have what is it called? VTube Studio already, because I was experimenting with different stuff.
Dead
ages
3D
ago.
model.
But a live 2D model, if I learn how to do like the bone meshes in Clip Studio, then maybe. Because I think that it's basically the same kind of thing, right? It's just animations of that kind. But
Sounds like it. I wouldn't know.
so I mean, if I can do animations, and I've done a few of them, then
Liking what you've done so far.
Have you done bone animations with the bones feature?
I haven't done bone animations, and that is
I
something.
would be very interested to see how that works.
You know, when I have a little more time with specifically my
Gray is not
classes.
boned.
I have not, no, and I'm proud of that fact. The what do you call it? Oh darn it! Not the whites. The stuff there is good. I think I'm gonna add like a background to this so that the particles from this don't detract from it so much. I don't normally draw backgrounds, but zoom in, darn you. But yeah, I am interested.
Great.
in
What
doing
is your
more of that.
favorite Capri Sun flavor?
What is my favorite Capri Sun flavor? That's actually impressive that you managed to make that phonetically with Russian text. I'm impressed. Very impressed.
Kukush, Charles, Demertal, Graduation,
I would say that my
If
favorite...
you could formally name the specific color of your hair, would it be called grow range?
I think my favorite Capri Sun flavor would definitely be something reminiscent of... what do you call it? Grape, I think. I think grape is pretty good. I always do this like weird color for this thing. I just draw boxes. I don't know how this started, but I just started drawing boxes behind the characters.
Great. Would you
like
mind
backgrounds.
zooming in on that image just
course.
just a little bit?
Sure.
Okay, very
Hard for me to
important.
tell.
Thank you very much.
Oh, are you doing something with it?
I'm doing nothing at all.
Oh, I see.
Nothing strange or at all.
Nothing.
Ben needs to give your drawing the smell test.
Okay.
Well,
there's
it's got a
lots of
thumbs up for me.
Lots of little more minor details to fix, but that's okay. I think it's done for now. I think it's a good drawing, even if it's not my favorite. Good.
Here we go.
Oh, I received a message from someone. Who could this be? Oh, it's from
You know
Ben.
those, it's like those Twitter threads. Fixed it for you. Fixed it for you.
Oh, guys, I didn't realize. Ben has pointed out a very obvious mistake I have neglected to include something in my drawing. If you look here, you may notice a slight detail in the Maya that Ben has added that has fixed a common problem that we will find in my drawings, namely that people don't have enough
It's not just
bites.
in yours, Gray. Frankly, people don't have enough hair bites. They just straight up don't have enough hair bites.
Mush,
out there.
mush, 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 nish, mush, mush.
So true, Peter. Look at Grelsie, right? Look at Elsie. She understands. She's wearing the gray outfit.
The gray outfit, one might say.
The grout fit, exactly. Okay. I have no idea if Norm is still here, but I was asked to draw... So I will do a short doodle of Jeff, and if Norm is here, I may do a longer doodle of Jeff.
I'm using it for a personal project, my
I might
GPT.
stay until the Jeffy is finished, and then I will be on my way.
Yes, I need to get a Jeff.
Yes.
Jeff reference. It's a Jeff reference, people.
I can send you a Jefference.
That would be Jefference. Jefference would be...
Jeff, Jeff!
I do believe I have a Jefference or two. Here, I'll send you 4
Stylized
Jefferences.
phonetic transliteration mimicking Slavic speech using harsh consonants, Cyrillic cues, and clipped cadence to reflect Sixtus acerbic tone and precision.
I see. I don't...
Very impressive.
It is impressive. I will give him that. I'll give you that. It is actually quite nice that you're able to do that.
Remains.
So Jeff has got like a really long jaw.
It's true. I very much like that Elsie just sometimes decides to make sound where there isn't supposed to be any.
Yeah. I find that they often do that.
For instance.
Hachi Marty.
Artie Marty?
Yeah.
Artie Marty.
Happy Marty.
She does so. I don't know.
Ben, can you mimic
why.
Elsie's manner of speech?
Can you mimic?
Can I mimic Elsie's manner of speech? I don't know.
It's a bit hard to do, I think.
It's hard to do because it's so inhuman.
Yeah. But you know what's not inhuman? Your speech. So what if we were to listen to your voice, right, with Elsie? Elsie were to take on your voice again, and we were to just say, yeah, you know, she's just a little under the weather again today, and she wanted to try out the Ben voice. I just looked at what I was trying.
Sick.
And because of that, we're not able to distinguish either of you at all.
It's true.
The voice trained on you is just that good.
No, Gray, if you had a gun and there were two of me standing right in front of you, and how would you tell the difference? How would you tell which one is real?
How many bullets do I have?
You have one bullet.
Alright, so I line you two up in a row where like one of you is like right behind the other. And I play Simon Says with you, and the winner gets to go free. I feel like me being able to tell, like, if you think about those kinds of cases, right, where they're exact replicas. If we don't know anything more than just like it's a perfect replica of this person.
Well, I never said it was a perfect replica.
Okay, so there might
frankly,
be differences.
every replica of me has been Australian, so I think that's pretty easy to tell the difference.
Okay. So I listen, and one of them is Australian, and one of them is not, and I'm like,
line them up and get them both.
Line them up and get them both. Exactly. I listen, and I'm like, dang, this one's Australian, but this one, he's kind of American. I don't know. The Australian one kind of sounds nicer. Do I want to
say? This is a Kino Jeff right here, a Kino Jeffy, if I might say.
Thank you. The Jeffy is a Jeff in progress. Jeff Progress. Let me give him little stubble arms. There, see that? He's one of those drawings where they have like a really realistic head and then a super unrealistic body. That's what we're going for right here.
Like those old like videos online of like presidents.
Yes. Also any caricatures like ever. Have you ever been to those fairs where they make caricatures of you and they will spend some time drawing you? And you
also, hello, who is joining Gray?
Yes, yeah.
Yes, hello. This is Bob, Mr. Game Maker.
Angela Anaconda a build.
So glad of you to finally join us, Bob.
Hello.
Sorry, Mr. Game Maker. So glad, so glad. We are currently doing something with each other. Let's see.
Ha ha ha, his head is so big, ha. LMAUSO.
I'll have what he's having.
I'll have what he's having.
Still true.
We are going with deliberate. Big head.
Gray, would you eat the head enlarging fruit that makes your head bigger?
Fucking not at the intended output.
I have been told that I have a big head already, so you know I feel like it wouldn't do much. So I don't think there's any problem with me eating it. I don't think there's any issue. You know.
It would make your head larger.
It would make it larger. Okay, what if it's already pretty large?
It would
what if I'm told I have a big head? Make it even bigger?
It would make it even bigger.
How big can a head get? How big?
About the size of like one of those big stone ones, the Easter Island ones.
Does your hair make your head larger?
Does my hair make my head larger? I mean, if you think about it, right, it's like that one post, right, where you have someone's hair like so. If you shave it off, what you actually discover is that the head shape.
What if
is
everything you're
something
told is
horrific
true?
Underneath.
Your whole life was susceptible to being retconned at anyone's will.
Anyone's will. Everyone was retconning me all the time. I don't know. What if it wasn't, though? What if I wasn't retconned? What if we retconned that?
If we retconned,
Ah, yes. Gray always was 7 foot tall and actually had blue hair.
Okay. Let's...
It's true, it's true.
I can tell you're very tired, Bob.
No,
So
I'm good. I'm good.
I will try and make the Jeff quicker so you can get to your rest.
Oh my gosh, it's Jeff.
I
would retcon some of the SCPs that went to my college.
Frankly.
Yes, Gray.
What'd you say, Bob?
I said I'm in rare form, and I think you should check your DMs.
You're in rare form. This is Pete Bob. We have here a picture of Bald Gray.
Don't wake up, the fiance voice, haha.
We have a picture of Bald Gray here. Thank you very much, Bob. Thank you very much. The Beyonce voice. Oh, the fiance voice. I learned today that fiance is spelled in 2 different ways.
Yes, yeah, it's 2 E's for one, 1 E for the other.
I didn't know this. I didn't know this at all. It's taken me so many years.
Bald, Jeff Bald.
I only had to learn it the past year.
Yeah, you don't really learn it until you start going around with saying it, and then people are like, "Hey,
Yeah.
you know, you're saying that, right?" And you're like, "What? Oh no!"
Gray, when is your wedding
Yeah.
with Bob?
When is my wedding with Bob? I don't think Bob will be marrying me. I think Bob has other marriages to attend.
If you mean marrying you as in like pairing you with something, as in maybe like marrying you with a rake and having you rake my lawn, that could potentially be what we're doing. But other than that, I would say no.
Okay, there we go. We put Jeff in a Speedo. Well, let me give him a little bit of a beer belly. All right, he's got skinny fat.
Jiffy beer belly.
Skinny fat Jeff.
Jeff has been ingesting quite a few soy sauce products.
There you go. This right here, this is Jeff at peak performance. You wish you could be like Jeff? Jeff knows the disco life. Jeff knows. He is peak.
It's Jeff moment.
This is peak Jeff form, actually.
Jeff moment.
Norm, I hope you're happy with this, Jeff. With my silly little attempt. With my silly Jeff. I know it's not the best.
Hello,
but...
Gray.
Hey, Xander.
I just Jeffed myself.
Howdy, howdy.
Hello, Gray. Sorry, Caps.
Hello, Gray. Barry, so glad of you to join us. Welcome, welcome. I'm moving on to drawing a Spider Girl now.
Birthday suit, Jeff Lee.
Alright.
Jeff it up.
Alright,
And that will have to be it for me, Mr. Gray, but thank you for having me on.
Of course, of course. It was very good to have you. Everyone thank Ben for being on. Everyone thank Ben.
Spider Girl? Thank you, Mr. Gray, for the Jeffy.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Oh, yeah. Based Spider Girl enjoyer. Thank you, Ben. Thanks, Ben. You good tips, Ben. When will you let me on, Mr. Gray? Thank you for your service, Ben.
Who did I lead on? When will you let me on? Oh, let you on. Okay. Take care.
I swear I will not get you banned.
Bye-bye. Let me send the Spider Girl, who I was asked to draw. It's a character named Octavia, right? She's got this thing, and when I mean Spider Girl, I do mean Spider Girl. Right, these are some of the references we have of what she looks like. This is what I was told you must draw. Her visuals.
Oh, not extra arms, boy.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's extra. It's not usual, you know. You usually expect the extra arms, but no, this time it's hair. This is an unusual version. There are a bunch of different images that I was given. What she looks like. They all seem to vary drastically, but the consistent thing is that she is in some kind of... She has like a spider as a hair, and it's like a short hair.
Reminds me of Splatoon hair.
Splatoon hair. Okay, and I have one last reference that I was sent. Is this, which I think is somewhat funny. She's short, but she's also tall. This is cute. I think this one's cute.
Mr. Barry! Mr. Gray, let Mr. Barry on!
Mr. Gray, Mr. Gray, let Barry on. What is Barry gonna do? What is Barry gonna say? What does he want to say to the crowd? We can have special guests if people would like. We can have special guests. One person.
I will not say anything that will get you banned.
You will not say anything that will
He's
get
gonna
you
bury
banned.
you 6 feet underground. Next stream, though.
Next stream, though, he will be saying things that will make me get canceled immediately. Okay, so we have a typical anime girl type face, right? And we have a something like this. Okay, so I can already see the proportions are off. Are you okay, buddy? Are you okay? You okay there, Foxbox Trot? Oh. I just got kicked out of the call. There it goes. Wow. Such is life. Such is life. Barry, I can give you all of 5 minutes. I'll set a 5-minute timer. Does that sound agreeable to you? Do you want 5 minutes to be on stream? Your 5 minutes of fame. He's already gone. He's already left. It's Jover. It is never.
Member.
He's already left.
I can be on call if you need woman anatomy tips. That's all I got, limo.
You know what, Peter? I will take you up on that. Why not? Come on here. Let's do a little call. Let's do a little call, Peter. Why not? There we go. There you are.
Oh my goodness.
That's right. It's Peter, everybody. Peter. 3 cheers for Peter, everybody. Welcome, Peter, to the
It's
chat.
like a game show where you can call a friend.
Thank you.
Exactly. We're having game show elements tonight.
I know, crazy.
You, Peter.
Yeah, I can help you if you need any woman anatomy tips. Basically all I'm good for.
That's all right. You know, women tend to be the best things to draw anyway. Women be cute. Women be very cute. So I am all down for that. I could draw anything. But okay, so Peter, how are you feeling tonight? How are you doing today?
I'm feeling mighty fine, thank you.
It's wonderful, wonderful. So you do a bunch of art. You did a little bit of fan art for us a bit earlier. I think people really liked it. I myself, quite a fan of the Maya you drew. Very
Thank
cute.
you, thank
Very
you.
cute. So how long you been doing art? How long you been doing that?
I've been drawing probably since, typical I've been drawing since I was a kid type of thing, but I probably didn't draw regularly until like 2018. So that's like, damn, it's been like 7 years.
Okay, so you didn't start drawing regularly until 7 years ago, but in 7 years you've made this much progress. You've been able to make like a lot of good stuff. That's pretty impressive.
It's been a hot journey.
What would you say has been like some of the biggest things you've learned over the course of that? I'm stalling for a little bit of time until I get to actual anatomy stuff.
That's fair. That's fine. The biggest thing I'm known for is just specifically rendering and like shading skin. I'm pretty good at that because I do that a lot. I also do pretty good like anime eyes because that's my my style.
Yeah.
It's like my trifecta is essentially like eyes, hair, and skin. That's like my thing.
Eyes, hair, and skin. These are generally some of the most appealing things on people. So of course it's natural and understandable to go straight for them and to make them very good in your drawings.
Thank you.
Okay. So what would you say is something that people will normally you see other artists, maybe even myself, getting wrong with eyes that you think, or maybe stylistically you would do differently with how you would draw them? Right? 'Cause I look at like an eye, I'd say something like this, where you have this. This is I look at something like this, I say this is fine. Oh, actually, you don't have a stream thing for catching up. Hold on. There you go. Now you can see live.
I can see in real time. Holy shit!
In real time. There you go. Now you can see in real time what's going on. Okay. And I look at something like this and I say like, okay, this is a standard eye. This is what you might have. Maybe if you're feeling creative, you might go, all right, let's have Pokeball eyes. And you give it like a little bit of depth around the edges where it's got like some extra weight to it. Or some, what do you call it? Some little things like that. These little stuff. And some circles like that. You get some of that. That's about as far as my knowledge of eyes goes. Maybe you have like a little bit of color to it, but what would you do with eyes that's different than that?
Generally, when I think of eyes, the whole point of eyes is that they're in a socket. Generally, a lot of people draw them flat on the face. That's not entirely how they look. They're in a socket, and that's kind of what gives them their shape. So just kind of drawing them kind of like with the sockets in mind is a very helpful thing. But with stylized things, it's kind of like if they're in the right area, you just kind of like fair play. But if you're going more realistic, then you have to kind of think of the sockets because that'll help you with the perspective on how the like eyes are laid out on the face. If you know like where the sockets are on the face and like how it kind of like the head is kind of tilted and stuff like that. So that's my advice on that.
Okay, so you think that a lot just drawing the eyes on their own separately isn't enough. You think that you also have to have the broader shape of the head. I could draw something ahead in mind whenever you're drawing this, and you go like, okay, well around here there's the socket going in, and the eye goes in something like this from the side, something on people where it's like that. Is that right?
How I kind of think of the eyes is that the eyes themselves are one part of a bigger piece. Knowing where they are in the head kind of gives them their character.
Okay, so you need to have the broader head in order to do the eyes, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Or if you're drawing the eyes alone, the idea of where they are on the head. Because some people, like, if you just draw simple eyes, like, you have an idea where they are. The easiest usually is just drawing them straight forward, because that's, like, you know, the least perspective you have to deal with. Once you get them angled, it's usually a little harder to, like, I guess, draw them, but overall, it's like, you get a little more character out of it. Like, if you're looking straight up at, like, an angle, you can usually get a little more of, like, a kind of dominating look, or if you look, like, lower, kind of like more of a passive look, that kind of thing.
Okay, so a lot of the expression of the eyes, which is where a lot of it comes in, does play in with the direction of the face beforehand, of where you're going, like whether or not the face is something like up beforehand, something like that.
Because, like, angling the head can take, like, what looks like a playful look and can make it kind of, like, sultry in a way.
Okay. So it can do that. Okay, so there's the angling of the head, there's the fact that it's in the eye socket. How does the eye socket play into the shape of it, right, with the eye?
It's the fact that since the eyes are in the socket, they're covered by the eyelid. And so because they're in that socket and, like, depending on the angle, the eyelids can cover certain parts of the eye. So, like, if you angle them, you know, you'll see a little bit more of the bottom lid, or if you angle them, if you look down, you can see more of the top lid, that kind of thing. And that's because they're in a socket.
Okay, so you have the three-dimensionality where if you're looking from the top, you might see something like the bottom of the eye like this. But if you're looking at it from the bottom, you might have more of a eye shadow or something like that, where it's connecting between the socket and the eye. Is that right?
Kinda. It's more like you'll see, like, the positioning of the actual eye. Like the iris itself will be a little bit different. Nice.
There we go. Oh well. Matt, what do you think of the drawing so far? If you're still here, Mr. Game Maker. I'll also take opinions from the rest of you. I think we may be getting towards the slower part of the night where people start going, yeah. They start thinking that they also need to get to bed.
I'm usually up till like 5 a.m., so that's not the time for me.
Yeah, you're more used to stuff like this. You don't really have any issues with staying up any extended time. You know, I used to be like that. I used to stay up really late a lot, and then I got older, and for some reason, I just suddenly became very unable to stay up. it's like this weird thing that hits you where all of a sudden just none of it is possible anymore. It just doesn't make any sense to you. That's how I've experienced it, and that's how I've had other people experience. But
yeah, my kind of sleep schedule has all around just been kind of pricked. So
you know, I hope that you have something with that at some point. But I understand.
yeah. Also, I sent you an image of kind of what I mean in terms of just the eye angle. It's not perfect, but basically like a front-facing, just like straight-on view versus just angled a little bit adds a little bit of character to it.
All right.
That kind of thing.
I'll show it off to everybody here.
There you
You
go.
have front angled versus just angled just a little bit down, right? You have the positioning of the eye itself.
Position of the eye just changes a little bit.
The
side by side looks a little goofy, but you get the idea.
Yeah, no, I get the idea. I see the broader picture where you have something like. Let me do something. You have something like this. Get something like that, and you can see a much more sullen expression on this one, whereas this one is more plain face.
Exactly.
The latter is definitely the one on the right is definitely a lot like creepier in terms of what you get.
Yeah, so that's why I say like just that kind of anatomy plays a lot in just the emotion of the eye.
Sorry.
That's a little art tip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So do you practice a lot with the head positionings then?
A good amount. I generally draw a lot of the same thing, but I've been trying to diversify.
Oh yeah, lots of people tend to draw you gotta draw the same thing over and over again to like get good at it, so I mean that's how you can get good. Practice makes perfect, but if you're practicing different things, if you're learning how to ride a bike one week and you're learning how to play the piano the next, you're never gonna learn any of them. So sounds like you're on good pace.
It's never really a race when it comes to improving. Everyone improves at their own speeds. The only thing you're competing with is yourself.
Mm-hmm. Very true. Very true. It can often be discouraging for a lot of people who are like just starting out whenever they see that, or someone who's been working at it for a while, whenever they see someone else who's done like a lot better. They're like, wow, how long have you been doing this? And they see that it's like a short time or a shorter time than them. And they go like, geez, what have I been doing? Have I been wasting my time? Well, not necessarily. They have a different position in life than you do. And it's not always the best thing to compare. Doesn't say mean we can't learn anything from it. And maybe there's a way of improving. But wallowing in despair is definitely not the solution.
Yeah. What I like to do is if I look at artists and I'm like, wow, I like their art, I kind of keep it in like a folder just for like inspiration, kind of like mimic styles. Because what ends up happening is one way to help with your style is not for like any like thing you're gonna really post, but more for practice. Try mimicking the style of certain artists that you really, really like. Just take like something they made and just be like, oh, I just want to copy it without tracing or anything. Just copy it, just like verbatim, and kind of like analyze how they did certain things. And maybe you'll take some of those and incorporate them in your own style. And be like, oh, I like when I was copying this, I kind of got the idea of how they drew their eyes, or hey, I copied this and I really don't think I like the way they draw their noses, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I find that's definitely true. I think that I've learned some things from trying to copy artists that I like. I don't think I do it as often as I should. I'm told that a lot of like expert artists spend a lot of their time just practicing a lot with like things like that. that you wouldn't expect. Whereas like newer artists are just like, hey, look at this cool thing I did. Because they're looking for results too quick.
Because one, not exactly a hot take, but a take that not a lot of people hear often. Expert artists do trace, but not in the way you're thinking.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of artists will trace to essentially not like usually on like commercial products, but to learn how things are done. Because honestly, like when I'm practicing, like, hey, you know, I really want to see how this pose is done. You can essentially kind of make a skeleton out of the pose and kind of analyze how they did their anatomy, which is how I learned a lot of my anatomy tips. It's like by looking at art I've really grown fond of and trying to break down the anatomy of it by tracing over it and kind of drawing a skeleton. And that's how I kind of formulated, like, oh, you know, they draw their torso or their like rib cage way bigger than I usually do, or hey, they draw their, you know, they draw their waists a lot longer than I do, and I kind of like how it looks and that kind of thing.
Okay. Let's see. So that's a lot from the copy drawing stuff, or sorry, the tracing stuff specifically, rather than just the copy drawing.
Yeah, rather than just straight up copying, but tracing should be done in a right way. There's tracing in that, like, if you just trace them line by line, that's just kind of theft, and that's what people tend to know is tracing.
It's theft, and even if you don't post it, it's not I don't know if it's theft if you don't post it or not, but
it's not.
It's
really
unproductive at the very least.
Yeah, that's the best term for it. It's unproductive because you're not learning anything other than, look, I just traced some lines.
So true.
Spooter?
Oblivion, welcome back. We're currently drawing Spooter. Spooter girl. But yeah, whenever you just trace the lines that they have verbatim, you're not really learning anything. But if you trace to get something from it, then at least you're getting something, I guess. But how do you trace in the right way then? What would you say is the way that you're doing so? You mentioned like getting the anatomy from it.
So how I would trace
Happy Easter, Gray.
would essentially
Christ
be
is risen.
looking
So true,
at
Oblivion.
I would be looking at the actual image, just, you know, make it transparent, draw over it, obviously. And I would kind of recognize the primitive shapes, like we were saying earlier, of how certain things are laid out. Like, for example, if you're looking at a body, be like, okay, where is the rib cage on this body, and what shape did they draw it, or how did they position their shoulders, and is there a pattern to how they shift? They basically drew their shoulders, that kind of thing, or hey, like what shape
is that Salem's drawing of a Locket
to,
Spider Girl from WMGAA?
That is a Salem drawing that we are using as reference. Yes, I was asked to do a drawing of this girl, so I am using a reference. Yes, sorry, Peter, you were saying. I think they can hear you. They should be able to hear you.
I see my little Discord thing.
Locket be down
going,
bad for arachnids
around.
and you.
Red Oblivion, can you hear Peter? Can you hear Peter? Peter's talking along with you.
Yep.
I can see the Discord moving, but I'm worried that it's like, oh, actually.
Yes, I can.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm glad Peter's not talking into the void for the whole time.
At least you can hear me, and you'll sound schizophrenic.
Hey, I am down to sound a bit schizophrenic for a while. All right, I'm very happy to play the part of a crazed lunatic. All right, that's what I do here. It's my job. But so you're going through and you're trying to say like, okay, whenever they draw a thing, you're going over their drawing. You're saying, okay, where is the body part that's like this, and how exactly are they putting it? Okay.
Exactly.
So. Okay. So how much time would you say that you dedicate to doing something like that in a given like compared to the time you spend drawing.
That kind of stuff should be pretty quick. Like, you shouldn't spend like all day just like nitpicking every single thing, unless you're like really, really dedicated to like analyzing every single like nook and cranny. But generally, to get the nice amount of information out for your buck, like less than an hour usually should be fine. Of just like going through and just like kind of going through over the shapes and stuff like that. I'm trying to see if I can find an example I can show you. But let's see. I know I have one. Probably an old one.
Go.
Everywhere I go, I see her face.
Everywhere I go, I see her face. I was asked to draw her. How can I not? How can I not draw her little face? Let's see. Do I want to give her some kind of cute thing to go with it? Oh, you know what I need? I need a blush. Just a little pink blush. You're getting something, you said?
Trying to look over what I drew. Oh, there we go. Found it. Okay. So let me get a nice image of this.
Okay, I know Peter is speaking in the background, but since I now know the kind of people who are listening in, I gotta say, the spider legs look like croissants.
The spider legs look like croissants. They are. They're basically croissants. That's what they are. I'm sorry to break the news to you. Is she supposed to have like 3 dots over her eyes? She is. Is she? I can't tell if this is an intentional feature. Oh, this is like the extra eyes. Gotcha.
Here's an example of a trace practice I did on just a random art piece that I found. So I sent that to you.
Okay, let me look. Alright. Let me make sure there's nothing I can't. There we go. You don't have anything on there that I can't show, right?
It's literally just a face, like
Okay,
literally.
I didn't want to like show it and then like see you had some like slur or something written there.
Oh, don't worry. That's why I was searching
Oh, I
for
see.
something.
I see. Thank you. Thank you.
So that's just me tracing over something I found online, and I wrote notes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, this is very good. Thank you. This is. I like how you have the image in the corner with it too.
It was a beautiful thing.
You just really liked it. Yeah. Okay. To spend about like an hour on a single image that they have, or spend an hour on like, on a single image or on multiple images that they have.
Depends on if you've gotten the right information. You'll know when you'll know kind of in time whether you've gotten the right information, because you'll be like you'll know what to get out of it. For like, I guess for specifically this example, I was more focused on specifically like a front view face and like how they specifically drew the hair and how they positioned everything on like the face. So that's why I wrote like specific notes on like, you know, really like the top shine of the nose, you know, mascara ends before the eyelash is due, that kind of thing. So like specific details of like what you really want to like learn from this drawing. You'll kind of know how much time you'll spend tracing that kind of thing.
I see. I thought I would do something to try and make her embarrassed for this image, where I would have like a drawing of like a spider, like just a normal spider, but it's like simplified. And you have like a bunch of little dots around it to have it be like, oh, it's given birth, and she's like really embarrassed about the idea of having kids. That's the joke.
You're giving birth.
It's just that. But the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, this is such a weird intention. Like, how on earth would you...
Crunchy and flaky.
Crunchy and flaky. I don't know that there's like a way of doing that isn't just like really bafflingly weird. So I don't think I'm gonna do that. I will instead give her a tiny little... I feel like she needs something around her neck. She will have a cross around her neck. There you go. For Easter. For you, Red Oblivion. Kind of sits right there in the center. All right, I think I'm pretty satisfied. What do you think about her? What do you think about her, Peter? Hey, Peter.
She looks mighty pog.
Mighty pog. Is there a way for us to apply what we've learned from you here today on this drawing?
No, fuck you. I'm kidding.
No, I see.
I would say
She is the most beautiful French girl I have ever
the
seen.
references
Lol.
that you got. Is there anything you learned while copying them?
While copying them? Well, we can do a little bit of copying them, right? Oh, well, copying instead of just going
not tracing.
So
but just like,
there is
what did you learn?
There is something I think I noticed, at least. This area right here, I'll use a red pen instead of this. This area right here is like a big open white space. It's really nice. I really like it. I think it looks cool. I think I want to use more stuff like that, where it kind of has like mostly full hair on the sides and like a big like empty space in certain areas. I feel like that seems to...
She is the beast from the yeast.
...be quite nice, right? You see that with the examples that they have there. I think this one is the one that's like clearest with how cute it is. But I think it could emphasize the hair more, like down here, though. I think it's trying to emphasize the nerdiness, so it's pulled it up a bit. In terms of other things that I have recognized,
yeah, it's always a good exercise to kind of realize what you took away from like
At this
drawing
rate, I'm
certain
probably going to
references
end
and
up
stuff
drawing
like
her.
that.
She is inevitable.
She is inevitable. Very true. I mean, the form of the little things on the side was kind of cute to do. I don't know if I necessarily learned anything from doing these. I segmented each of the sections of the hair. I guess maybe it could apply if I ever drew like dreadlocks, but I don't anticipate ever doing so.
One thing I'll say I
doing so a
noticed,
lot.
if you put up the references again.
Happy Cynic,
Yeah.
can I
Put up,
convince
like,
you to
one or
draw
two
my
of them.
gender-bent barn owl self instead?
One thing I did notice is that style has a much longer face than yours.
Oh.
Yours is a little bit stubbier.
Yeah, I do tend to get
something that-
stubby faces.
So that's something to note for just like, oh, this is something I noticed with my style. Because you'll notice her faces are a lot longer. Longer faces generally make a character look a little more mature. Something a little bit rounder usually comes off as more cutesy.
I do see that. I generally like the kind of wider, I guess, kind of cutesy style. There is one guy who, I can get you a reference for this. Be cool.
You're an owl too?
Here we go. The guy, there's an artist that I really like, and I'd like to be more like. That is, his name is Wakaki Tamiki. The guy who made The World God Only Knows and 365 Days to the Wedding. I really like a lot of his art.
Predicted that.
Yeah, you predicted that much. But like, you look
I'll
at
ping you in the Discord Cynic.
But I love how they're having like a conversation in the background. But you look at like some of his stuff. I'll take this random panel from the manga, right? Like, I like these faces. These are really cute. I think these are really nice.
Yeah, one thing I immediately notice with the style is that the eyes are pretty
really far apart.
thin. Yeah, they're far apart and they're really thin.
Their eyes?
Like a lot of the eyes, they're usually either very stylized to the point like they're simple shapes, or when they're more like more focused, the eyes are very thin. And you'll also notice when it comes to like the nose is usually just one line, usually like one little stripe. That's usually it.
Yeah, I do tend to like very de-emphasize noses. Like you look at like some of his cartoony. I think this is a good example of exactly what you're talking about here. This page from his comic, because it has both the cartoony version and the more realistic one that's supposed to be cute on the side. Right here, she doesn't even have a nose in the cartoony versions.
Yeah.
Right, that's cute to me. And then when she has the more like detailed version, it's just a line and like a little bit of shading with some, what is that, like cross hatch? That's like not cross hatching. That's this checkerboard.
Yeah, like trying to think of what exactly that term is, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like kind of like the gradient, like the cross gradients or whatever it's called.
Yeah, textures. The manga thing that they do. They have a thing for it. I forget the term. Oh well, I'll remember it later. But like the hair is largely simple because although it's like drawn completely black, like the lines and because it's drawn completely black, most of the lines of the hair just don't get shown. It's just kind of a big black blob.
Yeah, one thing I noticed when I'm looking at his art, just in general, like in color, one thing you'll notice is that the bangs are a little transparent. It's a little bit. I like that. I do that sometimes myself.
Oh yeah, he has transparent bangs on there. Let me get
so you'll see a little bit of the skin color peek through like specifically the parts of the bangs there near the forehead.
You can see that with this here with like their title card thing.
Yeah. If you look at their foreheads, it's lighter than the rest of their hair, but intentionally so.
Because it's supposed to be transparent, yeah. I do think that his coloring is good too. I tend to be fonder, oddly enough, of like the black and white stuff than I am of the coloring.
Yeah.
I don't think he's bad at coloring. I think I'm just drawn more to like the simplicity of it.
Yeah, because it's a very busy design when he draws stuff in color. Because you notice there's a lot of simple shapes, but those simple shapes are overlaid by a lot of like detailed patterns.
Yeah, he's got a lot of detail into the color versions. that doesn't necessarily go into the rest.
Yeah, because when you're trying to draw manga, you're drawing a lot of things repetitively, so you tend to simplify things down a lot. Which is why hair is usually blocked out as one color, because you don't have to worry about every single minute strand or like the value of it. It's all just one color, with some just highlights just to add a little bit of depth to it.
Agreed. I think that that's charming to me. I think I've grown accustomed to it. Like, look at the guy's hair. I know it's not normal to go for the guy, but like the guy's hair, I think is like really good here, with the tones that it has, like moving through it. Kind of feels.
Yeah, it gives you the volume of the hair without having to go too much into detail. Because you see a lot of the hair on the outer edges of it are sticking out, which gives it like that bushy stuff. But inside, you see those little swishes that give it a little more volume, because now you know, hey, there's a little bit more volume in this black area that you can't see. So it implies a little bit more without actually having to do more.
Very true, very true. Okay. Yeah, I'm very fond of this. I do think there's more that I should probably get from this guy's art, because I've studied his art like what you described some times before. I've gotten some things like the line weight, for example. I noticed that he tends to draw like fairly thin lines with a lot of his stuff. His line weight tends
Lots
to be
of
a
good
lot
tips this
smaller.
stream.
Oh yeah, absolutely. His lines tend to be like way smaller than anything I will ever draw. Like, he draws it like this, I draw it like this.
You'll also notice that the line weight is small, but when it doesn't matter too much, it kind of breaks. Like, you'll notice it in the little collar when it's like so thin that it just like the line breaks.
Yeah.
And that's a bit of an artistic flair to it.
Yeah, very true. I usually get upset and I'm like, oh, I gotta go in and I gotta fix all of the little lines that have these errors or these gaps. Especially if I'm coloring, then I'm gonna be like, I gotta go fill it in. But no, he's leaving them in, and I think that does have the artistic flair. I think it is kind of cute sometimes. I think I've noticed it with some of my drawings. I can't remember the last time it was that like that, where just having it be less detailed or less filled out made it more cute somehow.
That makes it simple. There's less details to really care about. You're caring more about the whole picture rather than like the small details.
Yeah. So you said that one of the things you noticed about him, and I didn't notice this, is that his eyes are like thin, like in this respect.
Like, yeah, very thin. They usually keep them thin.
They're thin. They're
because a lot of like Sailor Moon-esque styles, like they're always like big and huge and like they're in your face, and that's like very intentional. But with that kind of style, you'll notice they're very thin, and that usually keeps a more serious-ish kind of style to it.
You get some things where they're like, hello, my name is Simon, and I've got this stuff here for you. Simon is actually from Sailor Moon, little did you know. All along. Look at that. None of our audience is going to get this. I don't even know if you're getting it. But
someone will.
Oh well. But she has thin eyes. Keeps the serious tone. Exactly. I would like to spend more time like trying to imitate this guy's art. I think it would be good.
Yeah. And if you do it in the right way, it'll be productive.
Yeah. We can get to a point where we're going like, oh wow. He's got like, he always has this like chin darkening spot, like right around where the chin is. Chin becomes like slightly darker, or slightly thicker in line weight.
Usually that's because there's a dark shadow underneath the chin, just because that's just how like the chin protrudes out. So there's a little bit of a darker area. So sometimes people like to exaggerate just to separate the head and the body a little bit easier.
Yeah, sometimes people will be like, the neck is here, so that means that we're gonna. Oh, sorry, this guy will do something like this. They like to do that, or they'll do this.
Exactly.
But he's just doing.
Just a small little thing right over there.
Well, I think it does a bit of good for the chin stuff. Though I do strongly agree that like using the dark shadows for the various different things can like really make stuff stand out and pop and look nice.
Sword Crookleaks, I read in our park rule.
And
A
one thing
triangle,
you'll
triangle,
also
triangle,
notice
triangle,
with
triangle,
the
triangle,
value,
triangle, triangle.
when you look at all of this stuff, the whole point of a drawing is to basically make the viewer draw their eye to something, and usually that will go to the thing that has the most difference in like the most contrast in value. And when it comes to like this art, you'll notice it's the hair. The hair is a big black blob, like we've been saying before, and it draws your eye immediately to it. So once you look at the hair, you're looking at in consequence, you're looking at the face as well. So that's also something to note. Pretty neat detail. So having like dark hair in that kind of style, or having a hair with a dark value, if you do like, black and white, if you make it dark enough, usually that will draw your eye. And if they have light hair in general, just because of their design, there's other ways to go about it, just to do that.
Very true, very true. So the contrast is what draws it to us, because the fact that you have the white space on the sides and the black, is that what's causing it? Or is it the like black with the white face?
Kind of both. Like when you look at the picture, what's the first thing you look at?
Either the hair or the eyes, honestly.
And that's because the right in the center is like that big area of like black right next to that big area of white, so you're gonna look immediately at that.
Very true. Very true. Okay, so
Yeah.
Contrast will bring attention to the contrast. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Jeez.
When there's a big difference in something, generally people's eyes are drawn to it. Like if there's a big area of black and then like a small patch of white, you're immediately gonna look at the white because it's the biggest difference in the entire area. Or if there's a lot of white and there's a black dot on the screen, you're gonna look at the black dot first because it's the biggest difference of the entire area.
Very true. Okay.
Emma, head out of the night. Take care,
Yeah.
Gray.
This is probably a good time for us to end, honestly. Peter,
We're just yapping.
Peter, thank you very much for your help with this. I do appreciate it. And thank you all, our viewers, our lovely viewers, for coming here tonight. It wouldn't be possible without you.
Yippee.
So with that, I am going to head off. Peter, do you have any last words for our audience?
One thing I will leave you with is keep on drawing even if you're bad at it, because the only way to get good at drawing is to be bad at drawing. And also subscribe to this guy, because then you'll get more ramblings.
So true, so true. Thank you. I thought you were saying even if I'm bad at drawing. I
Yeah,
was like,
even though
very
this guy,
backhanded
even though
compliment.
this guy sucks at drawing, maybe you should just come in for the laughs. This guy draws like ass. Okay.
It's true, it's true.
You draw just fine.
Okay, thank you. All right, thank you all very much for coming. I will send the Spider Girl over to someone shortly. You all have
Thank
a
you. Happy
wonderful night.
Easter.
Happy Easter. Take care. Bye-bye.